And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Alex Pretti, as I said from the beginning, ABL, he was an observer. He was peaceful. He didn't do nothing, ABL. I'm unsubscribing, ABL. We're talking about that a little bit more, a little bit later, since we have new video that shows him doing the exact same thing that I said he was doing from the very beginning on the first stream where I talked about him. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, MSNOW now, well, formerly MS13DNC, MSDNC, MSNBC, aired a completely AI picture of this guy. Completely AI. I am a graphic designer. That's what I am. I just happen to be good at making videos. I know what I see. I've been doing this my whole life, since before computers even existed. I've been doing this my whole life. That's AI. That is not just simple editing. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, some good news. We got Nicki Minaj, okay, world famous rapper, openly supporting our President Donald Jarquavion Martavius Trump. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, did Ilhan Omar get sprayed with some people sprayed something? We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. Thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh man, there's so much going on. Oh, listen. Alex Pretti. I told y'all what it was from the beginning. Man, people at a certain point got to stop doubting me. They got to stop doubting me. I know I'm a little bit early. I know I had it pretty much nail on the head before the video came out of him attacking ICE agents in Minneapolis 11 days before he got shot. I know I was a little bit early to the party, but just trust me. Sometimes I'm late, but most times I'm early. It's like, God, he don't always come when you call him. But hey, my church kids, God don't always come when you call. I ain't saying I'm God, but he's always on time. That's me. I was on time for the Alex Pretti situation. I was, because guess what? I already saw what time it was. I already saw what kind of behavior he was into. Already, it was easy to identify him. Once you cover these stories for years and years and years, like I have, I've been on YouTube with you guys for over 10 years. I started in 2015. Now it's 2026. Can you believe it? 11 years. I've been here. And before that, I was always a news junkie as a kid. I was 8 years old watching the news. Like I was a 45-year-old man in a rocking chair. I was doing that at 8 years old. You know, in between watching cartoons and playing with toys and, you know, running around acting a complete fool, I'm watching the news. I follow these stories. I see patterns. It was obvious who Alex Pretti was. The excuse making for him, as I said from the beginning, the excuse making for him and the excuse making for Renee Nicole Good is out of this world. I'm like, I thought we already went through this, but maybe we got a brand new generation and they don't know anything. And maybe it's my responsibility or my purpose to educate the new people who don't know anything. Because we all went through Freddie Gray. Remember Freddie Gray back in the day? We went through Freddie Gray. We went through Michael Brown. We went through all these different things, and we were able to show patterns of aggressive people getting into conflicts with the police, getting into altercations, confrontations with the police. We saw how those things play out. And what is always the solution? Stop interfering. Stop resisting. Stop committing crime. It's the exact same thing to be said here. Like, why are you trying to block ICE with your car? Then you're trying to run them over. She was just trying to get away. Like that little phrase right there, she's trying to get away, is like, it's like, hey, you know, you got gears in your head that's turning, right? Whenever anybody says she was just trying to get away, it's like throwing a monkey wrench right in my gears, locking my whole engine up. My whole V8 ain't going nowhere. I'm hitting the gas, ain't nothing happening. Okay, that's pretty much what that phrase does in my mind, because it's ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. The stupidity of this nation has increased. I'm glad you guys are smart. Thank God for y'all. I don't know what I would do without y'all, because regular normies out here, mouth breathers, don't know nothing. Okay, people trying to combat what I'm saying, can't even spell a sentence, can't spell one word. Okay, I'm surprised they could walk and chew gum at the same time. I'm surprised they got the shoes tied. I'm surprised they don't need their mommy to come tie their shoes for them at 35 years old. I'm surprised that they have that level of ability to move around, that level of mobility, that level of independence in their lives, because basic things should be understood. It shouldn't have to be something that I got to force on you. Like, okay, don't fight police, don't fight border patrol, don't fight ICE. Hey, Alex Pretti, you might want to not kick the light out of the vehicle as it's going by. You might want to not interfere with them in their law enforcement activities. Hey, you know what else, Alex Pretti? They said that you were on drugs because you had broke your ribs the first time you were fighting ICE out there in Minnesota. Said you got a rib fracture. What kind of medication goes for a rib fracture? I don't know. Percocet, fentanyl, some kind of painkiller, some kind of opioid. So you might just be high on drugs. You might be a dope fiend for real, trying to what they call it, pill hunting. Yeah, you could be on that. Oh, my tummy hurt. My tummy. Can I get a perk 30? Can I get a perk 80? Oh, okay, I get it. So now we are dope fiend. Potentially, maybe, potentially. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that he was prescribed some drugs for his tummy ache, which did not appear to be that much in pain. Okay, 11 days before you get deleted, you supposedly fractured a rib, but you out there behaving like Bruce Lee, trying to kick stuff, trying to hurt people, trying to get in the way of the police and ICE agents and border patrol and all of that good stuff. It must not be hurting that bad. Or maybe them drugs you want feel real good and you don't feel the pain. Now, if you are a lawful gun owner, there are certain things you must do. And this whole Second Amendment argument is being made by people who don't know what the Second Amendment is. People say, you know what, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Again, you guys are brilliant. You guys would never do stuff like this. But when people cite their rights, they don't actually know what they're saying. Let me give you an example. Freedom of speech. Now, what does freedom of speech mean? Anybody want to take a stab at it? I'm going to tell you what it doesn't mean before I tell you what it does mean. Freedom of speech does not mean you can say whatever you want to say, whenever you want to say it, with no consequence at all. Okay, now the consequence can't be illegal. For example, you say something racist, you say, okay, my restaurant that I have right here, we don't serve those N-words. Okay, the consequence is I'm not going to your restaurant, others are going to boycott, and you might shut down. That's a legal consequence. You can't say that that's wrong for me to boycott your restaurant because of what you said. Well, wait a minute now. Is freedom of speech a one-way street or is it a two-way street? You have the right to say what you say, but I have the right to say what I say. Aside from the law about discrimination, you understand the point. The point is that there can be a consequence for your action as long as a consequence falls within the law. Now, in this case of the guy fighting the cops, okay, guess what the consequence is? They're going to fight you back. And then you try to reach for a gun. Well, you dead now. So that's the consequence. And it's legal to do that because you're already fighting. Once you escalate by bringing a gun into a situation, see, now we're on a different level. Now we're on a different page with it. That's the consequence. You can't just do whatever you want to do without consequence. There are certain rights you have. You have certain privileges in society, but it comes with something else. And here's another piece to it. People say, well, the government is tyrannical and the Second Amendment is for a tyrannical government. So I should be able to fight ICE agents with my gun, maybe even shoot them, and nothing happened to me. See, you're not using your brain. So you have the right to defend yourself. You have the right to bear arms. And yes, it is about tyrannical government. But if you decide to pick up arms against the government, they got arms too. So at that point, you are saying, I'm willing to die behind what I believe in. If you do die, well, you made that choice yourself. You made that choice yourself. That's just what that is. If you're going to go into a crowd of police officers or a crowd of ICE agents, one deep, you by yourself, it's 10 of them, 15 of them, and they're armed. Logic says you're going to lose that fight. Okay, let's just call it how it is. So when you say I have Second Amendment rights, First Amendment rights, what do they actually mean? All the First Amendment does is say the government cannot lock you up for your unpopular opinion. Okay, you can say that Michelle Obama is a man. You can say that Trump is orange, like a whole bag of Cheetos, Doritos, the Tennessee Volunteers football team. You can say that he's that orange. It's fine. You cannot be imprisoned for that. However, if you get on your social media and say something that is very provocative, negative, or weird that your employer doesn't like, guess what? They can fire you for that. Especially down here, down south, a lot of the at will or, right to work states with no union, you could do that. And you could get fired for any reason. You can't say my freedom of speech. Nah, you got freedom of speech, but so does your employer. Your employer says, I don't want you to represent our company, because even though you're not speaking for our company, you do speak for our company because they're going to associate you with us. Therefore, you got to go. They got freedom of speech and so do you. It's a two-way street. Right to bear arms, you got responsibilities. Okay. You cannot be on any kind of mind-altering substance while carrying your firearm. And carrying does not mean carrying in your hand, because I saw some of y'all say that. Again, not you guys in the chat. But I saw some people say that you can have your gun like this just out because you got the right to carry. That's not the way that works. Carrying does not mean carrying it in a hand and pointing it. That's called brandishing. That's not legal unless you got a threat in front of you. Okay, you can't go into the Kroger, pull your gun out and wave it around because you got a right to carry. No, that's called brandishing, and you will go to jail for that. If there's no threat, you just point your gun around, you're going to get locked up for that. It's called brandishing. And again, if you have your weapon on you, you cannot be high on drugs, such as weed. You can't be drunk. Okay, you can't go to a bar and drink like that with your gun on you. And you most certainly cannot be on any kind of pain medication like Percocet, Oxy, any fentanyl, any kind of opiate, anything like that. You cannot be on that. And that's the reality of it. So yes, you have the right to bear arms, but there are responsibilities that you need to abide by. And he did not do that. I could tell you some of the violations right now. Okay, you're supposed to have your permit and or license on you at all times. Where I live in Tennessee, there's no permit, but you got to have your license, your identification on you at all times. He did not have a license or his permit on him. So off the rip, he's not legally carrying, but you can give him a pass. He might be a little retarded. Okay, that's cool. Now, aside from that, are you on drugs? Are you on medication? Can we get a tox report? What kind of drugs were in the system? I'm just asking because a lot of these things, these riots, going all the way back to Baltimore, Seattle, St. Louis, all over the country, a lot of these riots like this have a lot of drugs involved. A lot of your Antifa crowd, they're kind of like homeless, that kind of crowd. A lot of drugs are going to be involved. So I'm going to presume that you were on some kind of drug when you went out there to that place. And then the intent. Okay, you just fought ICE agents 11 days prior and it's caught on video. We're going to play that in a minute. You go to that same place you were just at where you just fought and you got your gun. You have an extra magazine for what? Thought it was going to be a shootout? Thought it was going to be another fight that you just got into and you got to shoot your way out of the fight? What you think you were, John Wick? You're going to be in there, bam, 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 like Soldier Boy, bam, bam, bam. And you're going to reload and shoot some more? Was that the plan? Your intent was bad, in my opinion. You're probably on drugs. You have no license, no permit. You just all the way wrong. As I said from the beginning, you were wrong from the beginning. Rachel No Code Good, same thing. Wrong from the beginning. You're going to hit a cop and that's going to be just the end of that. You could just hit the cop and run away. Like, where they do that at? Hey, man, you know what? But I feel vindicated because I was right. And again, anybody who had a negative comment about my first video, about my first take, it's okay. I forgive you. But just understand in the future that I'm not going to steer you wrong. I'm not going to tell you nothing wrong. I'm not going to be, people try to like assign it to my political point of view. They say, oh, because you're conservative, that must mean that Alex Pretti is a bad guy. Now, it's not about my politics. It's about the law. It's about what's right and what's wrong. It don't matter who I voted for. It don't matter who I voted for at all. I could be a casual observer from overseas who cannot vote in U.S. elections, who is not political, and I could still see exactly what happened here, especially if I know the law. Very simple. Hold on. Salt Spreader says they said he got the gun the week before after he got his rib broke. Hey, I don't know. I don't know if that to be true or not. I don't know if to be true or not, because in the video where he was fighting the ICE agents before he got himself deleted by the Border Patrol in that same place in Minnesota, they said he had his gun on him right there. So I don't know if he had his gun on him. I don't know if he had that same gun that was out there 11 days later. I don't know that. All that I do know is that he was fighting them 11 days prior, which we have on video. Then he goes out there again and fights again. And this time he gets himself deleted. So, a good way to not get deleted by Border Patrol, ICE, police, or anybody, don't fight them. Get out the way. Don't interfere. Just mind your business. Hey, we got ICE down here, down south, and they be here all the time. We got ICE, police, whoever. We got all of that down here all the time. I never had a problem. I stay out the way. I'm not a criminal. I don't do criminal activity. I just mind my business and live a life that I'm supposed to live. Have a good time, and I don't bother anybody. So as a result, I don't have any issues. And it's crazy because a lot of your white liberals who say that they are Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot, we love black people, we're the best friends of the black men in the world, they will call me all types of N-words, straight to hard R, N-word, straight up, straight hard R, any kind of racial slur in the world when I don't agree with them. But this kind of reminds me of slavery, right? Okay. All right, boy, you're not going to work out here in that field. Well, all right, here go 1,000 lashes. It's the same kind of thing. You're mad because you can't do that anymore, white liberals. You're mad because you don't have that kind of control over me. I got full autonomy and you can't do nothing about it. You're mad. You're mad. But guess what, though? It's over with. It's been over for a long time. But some other liberals are just now realizing that it's over. They're just now kind of understanding that it's truly over. Yes, it's over. Shout out to Nicki Minaj, okay, a rapper extraordinaire, came out publicly and supported Donald Trump. I love that. And she got that Trump gold card. Remember the gold card he's talking about? If you have the monies, as we call it down here in Atlanta area, the munyon. If you have the munyon for this card, you can buy your citizenship. It's like $1 million or something like that, and she got one. Now, I don't know if he gave it to her or she bought it. It really don't matter because she could have bought it or it could have been a gift. Either way, Nicki Minaj deserved it. She's been a Trump supporter for a long time now, actually, just not super vocal with it. She's had little lyrics on her albums for years, actually, for years, talking about Trump and MAGA and everything else in a positive way. But now she's coming out and publicly saying, I love Trump. He's the best president ever. And we got her on stage with him. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. So yeah, or she get a discount. Hey, you know what? If she got a discount or for free, I say she deserves it because number one, she's productive. And just to be clear, just because we're not on the same page, Nicki Minaj is not a citizen. Well, she might be now because of the gold card. She was here on green cards because she was brought here as a child from Trinidad. Okay. So this whole time, not a citizen. Now, some are going to say, well, you guys are hypocrites, ABL, because Nicki Minaj is an illegal alien. No. See, look, watch this. Just because you are a non-citizen does not mean you're here illegally. And I said from the beginning, I'm not mad at anybody here in this country who follows the law. And I've been consistent about that. Illegal alien is a very specific thing. That's why I say that. I don't say immigrant because That's not what this is. You can be an immigrant here legally. That's totally fine. I don't care nothing about that. You could have just got here today. This could be your very first day in the country. As long as you're here legally, I don't have any kind of problem. If I think there are too many legal immigrants here, I don't have a beef with the legal immigrants. It'll be with the state. My issue has always been the illegal aliens because there's no way to vet them. They come from all over the world. They bring drugs, crime, violence, human trafficking, all the above. The legal residents don't really do that. And if you do that as a legal resident, it's time to go. Like that guy, Mahmoud Abdul Right, whatever his name is. I'm going to say Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Shout out to Chris Jackson. If you know, you know. But guys like that want to come here under false pretenses, a student visa, but you're really a rabble rouser trying to stoke instability in the nation, go back to Algeria. But Nicki Minaj over here making plenty of the money, paying big taxes, following the rules, doing things the right way. Okay, boom, here go your citizenship. Okay, pay some money, boom, now you got it. That process is not just for the rich like her, it's for everyone. I know plenty of legal citizens, legal immigrants here who are not super rich. That's going to be 99.999% of them. But if you do have money, okay, boom, buy that Trump gold card and you are now a citizen. It's perfect. So yeah, shout out to Nicki Minaj, shout out to Trump, shout out to everybody, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys who knew what was going on with Alex Pretti from the very beginning and you didn't doubt me. Shout out to you guys who understood that from the start, okay? And Ilhan Omar, oh my God. Hey, Ilhan, really? So Ilhan Omar, you thought it was going to be a good idea to do that? And before I continue, this is just my opinion because people love to sue. Hey, look, man, all that lawsuit stuff, don't even worry about it. Like, that ain't really going to be a thing you could do, for real. Those days are kind of over with. But anyway, Ilhan Omar, in my opinion, staged this whole thing with the stuff being sprayed on her. And a little bit of an update on that. What was in the syringe was apple cider vinegar. Okay, that's what was in the syringe, apple cider vinegar. Now, the guy, Anthony Kirsmiat, whatever his name is, 55 years old. There's all kind of pictures floating around. I'm not really sure what's true or false, so I didn't put that in my report. All that I know is that he was in the front row, sprayed the stuff on her. I know his name, and I know that it was Ilhan Omar. Now, that video was crazy where it looked like she gave him a nod. It's like, y'all got to stop this. And the thing about it is, a person like Ilhan Omar is known to be a scammer. The Somali community in general, in Minneapolis specifically, but all over the country, but definitely the epicenter of it, the nexus of Somali scamming is right there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So when she does a whole head nod thing and he springs into action with the little apple cider vinegar, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? You trying to have a Trump moment, the fight moment, Ilhan Omar? Is that it? Is that what we doing? Okay, I get it. But guess what? It didn't land. It didn't really work. It looked pretty cheesy. It looked like Saturday morning, like after you get done watching cartoons, the next program, the 11:30 or whatever that is, it's like that program right there. It's like time to go outside now because what are they showing? That's pretty much what this was. It was ridiculous. It was terrible. It's like Ava DuVernay when she did the MLK movie. Before that, she had just done like made for TV stuff, PBS documentaries, like real, like I said, the 11:30 go outside, ain't no more cartoons thing on TV. That's pretty much what she made for her whole career. So then when she made the MLK movie, it looked just like that. I'm like, this is terrible. This is awful. This is almost cuss. This is a poor production. This is a PISS poor production. Okay, that's the same thing I saw with Ilhan Omar and the whole. And then she gets sprayed by the Men in Black roach. Okay, the roach from Men in Black got recast in this one right here. Okay, he put that roach outfit back on, went right in the front of her town hall in Minneapolis, and right on cue, sprayed her with some of that apple cider vinegar. Hey, you know what? It's y'all. Hey, these people are a mess. They really are. it's to me, it's I gotta find a comedy in it because if I didn't laugh, I'd just be crying. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. This is Omar country. Exactly. This is Omar country. Hey, Ilhan Omar, you got to be ashamed of yourself. This is pitiful. Anytime I see anything on the news now or from leftists now, I'm gonna presume it's fake. I don't believe anything they tell me anymore. When you keep lying to me over and over, at a certain point, you guys say, you know what? I no longer trust you. You have proven yourself to be a liar. Therefore, I do not trust what you're saying. Yeah, that's just pretty much it. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Before I go any further and get into today's videos, thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Also, shout out to you guys for being the sponsors of the show, but also shout out to patriotpost.us, another sponsor, for being the best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. And we got new merch too. We got the new MAGA hats. We got some new stuff. But I'm going to show you that probably on Saturday stream on the actual thing. But go to ablmerch.com. You can order some new stuff that's just being put out. ablmerch.com. You got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, please go to the regular website, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and there I write a long form article for each long form video that I produce. And in each article, we got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok, and hopefully TikTok is going to get fixed now because we got it under U.S. control. So if that's the case, I'll post more on there. But all my links, my email, everything will be on the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you ever think you're speaking to me on the interwebs, you're probably not, because email me, contact@AnthonyBLogan.com. I'll respond to you that way if I can respond. If it's not that, it's probably not me, especially if there's some kind of scam attached, too good to be true, talking about gift cards, foreign exchange, anything sketchy. They're giving you a WhatsApp number. They got 45 digits in it. It has a 234 country code. Shout out to my Niger boys. Shout out to y'all watching. I know y'all country code. But nah, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. It's probably going to be a guy over in India. Sandals at best. Okay, sandals, flip-flops, chancletas at best. Flying the airplane with no shoes on. You understand what I'm saying? It could be them scamming you in some dystopian future call center with 20,000 Indians on one floor. It could be a guy over in Eastern Europe trying to run away from being drafted into the actual war with Russia. It could be that guy. I'm hungry. Please, I want some money. Please. It could be that guy. Or it could be one of my Nigerians, one of my Niger boys in Lagos trying to come up, you know. He trying to get him an American, a 500-pound American, or he's trying to get money from you, okay? So don't let that happen. You're going to get an email. What's it going to say? Dear madam, this is ABL. And I've come to you with the heavy hearts. I've had a tragedy in my family. If you could please spare some money. I know you watch my stream every Wednesday and Saturday. I know you watch, but I need your help right now. This would be great for me. If you get one of them emails, I'm promising you it's not me. So please don't fall for it. We don't have time for that in 2026. Now, let's get to what I got for today. We got Nicki Minaj, aka Nicki Minaj, okay, giving a full endorsement of our president, Donald J. Trump. Check it out.
Hello guys, I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
And I'm with the queen of rap.
There we go. So shout out Nicki Minaj. And we got more, of course. We have more. Okay, we got pictures. All right. There's one. Now, they're going to try to show this picture and say, oh, she's not interested. She doesn't like Trump, all this, that, and the third. Nah, it's just a picture. And that's pretty much how she looks sometimes. But we got another one. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, that right there, hey, Trump, Nicki, I'm going to print this picture and I'm going to put it on the billboard. I'm going to put it on the billboard right on I-75. This will be right there. I'm going to put it in my house. Hey, would my HOA get mad if I put a life-size portrait of this picture in my front yard? Y'all let me know. Would my HOA be upset at me if I did that? Well, how about a hologram on the front of my house at night, like Christmas lights? It'd be, rather than Christmas lights and, decorations, Happy New Year, cheers, snowflakes, it'd be that right there. How about it? I think that'd be a good look for the front of the house. What do y'all think? Anyway, let's keep on going. Oops, hold on. I'm messing up. I'm getting excited. Let me come back. I done lost my stream page. All right, here we go. Let's get that back now. Come on. Let's get that all the way back. There we go. Hopefully we didn't lose any connection. Hopefully we good money. All right, let's go right back. Now we got a few more pictures. Okay, we got Nicki Minaj. We got, is that Scott Vincent, my guy right there on the top left? If that is him, hey, great guy. Love him. I'm not quite sure who that is. I think he was interviewing her. If you guys know who that is on the right side of the picture, her left, over her left shoulder, let me know who that is. Okay, and then we got some more pictures. Okay, star of the show. Okay, showstopper. Nicki Minaj. All right, and there we have Nicki Minaj and Trump. And that's Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. Now look, I don't know about y'all, but I was always told, roll with the winners. Shout out to Batman if you're watching. My friend Batman, that was his slogan, roll with the winners. I like to be around people who are elevating and doing good things, positive things, truly progressive things, not the leftist progressive, not that definition of progressive, but truly progressive, like really making things go forward. Kevin O'Leary, Donald Trump, yeah, you want to be around guys like that, okay? You don't want to be around guys that can barely pay their bills like Umar Johnson. You want to be around guys like this right here, and of course, like her. People that are actually making things happen, successful, and they got the right idea. They want the best for the whole country. They want the best for the whole world. So shout out to them. Now, here is the Trump gold card. All right. Now, if you guys don't know what this is, the Trump gold card is a thing that he has come out with. I don't know if it's out yet officially or not, but the idea behind it is you pay a certain amount of money and you can just buy your citizenship. It's a big amount of money, but I like the idea. Now, let me see if I can just find information on it. Okay. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's here. Look, we got a whole website and everything. Hold on. Let me put it up for you guys. So the Trump gold card is here. All right, there we go. This is on, you can see it right here. This is an official government website, U.S. government website, okay? So the benefits, let me just zoom in a little bit. All right, for individuals, Trump gold card, for a $15,000 DHS processing fee and after background approval, a contribution of $1 million, receive U.S. residency in record time with the Trump gold card. Now you can get the platinum card too. So the platinum card is foreign nationals can sign up now and secure their places on the waiting list for the Trump platinum card when launched, and upon receipt of $15,000 for the DHS processing fee and a $5 million contribution, they will have the ability to spend up to 270 days in the United States without being subject to U.S. taxes on non-U.S. income. Wow. That is going to be very attractive. Very attractive, because you're not going to have this blank check you write for the taxes. If you wanted to come here for a certain period of time and make money, while you're here, you have to pay taxes on the money you make here. But if you have this, you could just pay your $5 million. So if what you're going to make is more than the $5 million, and or it's worth that amount of money to get everything started, you get a tax-free period of 270 days. That is going to be very, very, very beneficial to a lot of people. But you can see right here, $1 million, you can buy your citizenship. Well, $1,015,000 for the processing fee. So there you go. And Nicki Minaj got one of those cards. Okay. You want to go for the business card? You want to see the business tab? So that was for the individuals, right? The Trump Gold card, just be on the same page. I showed you the gold and the platinum, but for business, the Trump corporate gold card. For a $2 million contribution, receive U.S. residency in record time with the Trump corporate gold card for your employees. After $15,000 for the processing fee to the DHS and background approval, onboard your preferred candidate. Your Trump corporate gold card allows your business to transfer access from one employee and grant it to another with a small 5% transfer fee, which includes the cost of a DHS background check. A 1% annual maintenance fee will also apply. Excuse me. Additional small fees to the U.S. Department of State may apply depending on the applicant. So what this could do is, you got one guy over here. Okay. He goes home. You bring another guy in. You could just transfer that same card benefit to the new guy just for the processing fee, the 5% transfer fee or whatever. Okay. So you got a better idea of what you're going to spend financially, and you're able to get guys over here for that amount of money. Okay. And it's here. It's here now. It's available now. It says right here, the Trump Gold card is here. You can search this easy, Trump Gold card. This is an official government website. You can apply on this particular page. It's a button right here. You can't see it for some reason, but it's a button right there in the top right-hand corner to apply. So there we go. The money goes to the U.S. Treasury used to promote U.S. commerce. There we go. There we go. Now, of course, you can't just send anybody over here without any kind of background check, because it said right there, it's going to be a DHS background check. Okay, so you can't just send anybody. They're going to do some vetting. Again, that's why I like legal immigration, because you can actually vet who you bring over here. It's very important. But again, Nicki Minaj got her Trump Gold card. All right, because she's not a citizen, or she wasn't a citizen. She was just here on green card. Now, here's Nicki Minaj going to the Oval Office and surprising auto workers.
Good to see you. Great.
See, they forgot I was here now. They came in for
We
Trump.
still love you, Mr. President.
Where did that go fast? Hello, my
So there we go. All right, in the Oval Office. And then here is Nicki Minaj on stage with Kevin O'Leary and Trump.
On behalf of all the entrepreneurs.
And you can see, okay, she's happy up there with the little peace sign and everything. Great smile. And you can see they got the hand hold right there.
On behalf of all
See, right there. Boom.
the entrepreneurs in America, I'd like to thank you, Mr. President, because we create 72% of the jobs. Companies 5 to 500 employees, and all we care about is policy.
There we go. Now let's keep on going here.
Nicki.
So Trump says he wants someone. He wants some of those nails Nicki Minaj got. He want those nails. You saw the what they call coffin nails. They're like real long. He wants some of those nails.
Nicki, come on up. Come on. She's been such a great supporter and a great supporter of Trump accounts. And I said, I am going to let my nails grow because I love those nails. I'm going to let those nails grow.
And that was not booing. It was a baby in the crowd that was crying. And you can see the baby right there. Hold on. See, baby right there.
I'm going to let those nails grow. She's been MAGA. What can I say? She's been with us all the way, right, Alex? She's been with us all the way. And just want to thank her. Nicki, come on.
All right, there we go. Let's keep moving here. And here she is on stage talking.
Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen.
So there we go. Shout out Nicki Minaj. Shout out to her. And I think this particular event, it was for Trump accounts where your baby can get a $1,000 account and it can grow over time. So she was there for that particular purpose. All right. Now let's go to Ilhan. I wanted to start with something good, something positive. ABL never show anything positive. Okay, I got Nicki Minaj. Fantastic. We are really succeeding with people who actually matter in this country. Ilhan. So Ilhan said, well, the story is that some guy got up during Ilhan Omar's town hall in North Minneapolis and sprayed a substance on her. We now know that was apple cider vinegar. Okay, it was not harmful at all. It was apple cider vinegar. I don't know why that was a substance, but whatever. Let's just watch this, shall we?
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
I'm sorry for the sound. My left ear is not really enjoying this that much, but I don't hear anything in my right ear. Sorry for the sound. Okay, the loud beep, but that's that. You saw what happened.
Impeachment.
Something gets sprayed and then she jerks back. All right. Now, your reaction shouldn't be to go toward the attacker. That would not be my reaction. If someone sprays an unknown liquid on me, I'm trying to get it away because I don't know what that is. It could be acid. It could be some kind of chemical that would make me pass out, bleed out of my nose. Hey, that could be this discombobulator chemical. I could be on the ground just in the world of pain. I'm trying to get away from there because I don't know what he sprayed. I'm not going to go toward the person who just sprayed me with some kind of unknown substance. Hey, man, tough guy, no tough guy. If you get carbon monoxide poisoning or something like this, ain't nothing you could do. It don't matter how big you are, how tough you are. Once that gas hits you, it's a wrap. Hey, it don't matter how big or tough you are. Once that acid hits your skin, it don't matter. There's no amount of weightlifting you can do that'll prepare your skin for acid. It just ain't really a thing. But here's a different angle of that.
Abolishment of the agency. ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
I'm not buying this, man. I mean, the craziest thing is the head nod. That's the craziest thing. Okay. Like, hold on. Can I play this in slow-mo? Let's see if we can do this. Hold on. Let's go back.
Must resign or face impeachment.
There you go, right there. That little head nod right there, that was it. Because right when she did it, she was just speaking normally, scanning the room, and then she stopped for a brief moment right in front of the guy, head nod, and immediately he gets up and jumps into action. This has all the hallmarks of a staged event, and it's pretty obvious. It's like not even really, it's not that good. It wasn't really done that well. Like, what should have happened is that he was to jump up at a certain part of the speech rather than her giving him a signal during the speech. Okay, when I say Kristi Noem resign, you get up. Because maybe the purpose was to highlight that they want Kristi Noem to resign. I mean, this was amateur hour at best. Amateur hour. I mean, you could do better than that in an elementary school play. You could do better than that when you about 6 years old, for real. That was terrible. That was awful. Okay. Let's see that slow-mo one more time, shall we?
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Look dead at him. Dead at him. Look dead in his face. It's like, come on, man. Really? Come on. Like, what are we doing, Ilhan? What are we doing? And why was the guy like right in front? This dude up there drinking water bottles. He pretty much making himself at home. Like he on the couch at the crib.
And round of applause for Congresswoman Omar's staff who's here. Hi everyone, I'm Hennepin County. And round of applause for Congresswoman.
Like, what are you doing, bro? What's up? What's all this going?
Omar's staff who's here.
Why is the camera on you? Right? Why are you right there at the very front? Right in front of the podium. You're front and center. And why is the camera on you? Come on now. Like, the stuff that they do is just obvious at this point. It's super obvious. Now, here's the angle. Probably one of the best angles of it, really. Because you're able to see him spray her. And you're able to see the trajectory, the direction in which the substance was sprayed. Now, most lunatics, if they're going to spray you with something and try to hit you with it, they hit you right between your eyes. They're going to try to get you on your face. That's how they do with acid attacks, things like that. They try to get you right here. They don't aim for your abdomen area below your chest. They don't aim for that. They aim straight for your face. And if they were close up on you, it ain't going to be that hard to hit. But he intentionally aimed for her abdomen. She probably says, do not spray stuff in my face. Don't spray it to, she probably said that. And then that was probably the deal. Do not spray it to my face? All right, I got you on your abdomen.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Okay, so now what you don't do again, you don't do this jazz right here like she's doing, trying to go fight. And hold on, matter of fact, let me zoom out. You got to see this. Okay. You see this face right here? That's what you don't do when you're faced with a guy who has some kind of unknown substance. Don't do that. You need to get away and get out of their environment because you could be poisoned. And the longer you're there, the longer you let stuff linger, the worse it's going to get for you. So please, 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 please don't do this. But you can see what he did. You can see how the stream of the apple cider vinegar, where it went.
To resign or face impeachment.
See? If you really about that, you're going to hit her right here, right in the turban, right on the forehead. The forehead is exposed. You got plenty of room. Boom, right on the forehead. You aimed low as to prevent from hitting her in the face. You see, you did that on purpose. This is fake. Okay, and I see you trolling in the chat. Hey, what's up with the trolls though? Like, y'all don't got a life, like you don't got anything to do right now. You don't have anything better to do than to be in my chat trolling me. I appreciate the actual engagement because regardless of what, I still get paid. So it don't even matter. Imagine being a troll, wasting your time to give me money. And then you say that you hate me. But how are you hating me by supporting me? I don't really get it. It's weird. Some of y'all I see like in the comment section, you know, we got a feature on our actual back end. I can see how many comments you've left on my channel. Not the exact number if you're above 100. A lot of the trolls, I go to their thing. What does it say? 100 plus comments all the time, every time. All the time, every time. Now, you got to be a complete moron to leave 100 comments on a channel you hate if it's like that. If you hate it, I can't tell. You must love it. You just don't know how to express your love. Your love is expressed as hate. But anyway, now here's a brief interview with Ilhan after the incident.
Representative Omar, are you okay?
You know, I'm gonna go figure if I am, but I feel okay. I feel that it is important for people, whether they are in elected office or not, to allow these people to intimidate us, to make us not fight for our constituents and for the country we love. And as I said, you know, I've survived war, and I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me, because I'm built that way.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. So that's Ilhan giving her interview afterward. Okay. And the troll is El Hombre Negro. El Hombre Negro. I click on your actual name in the chat, and I can see that you are a repeat person in the chat. You're just part of the team. You're like part of the actual. I click on your name, and it says channel activity. Okay, you were in this chat, another one. It goes back years. You were in a lot of these chats. You were in the Charlie Kirk chat when he died. You've been in a lot of these chats. You've probably been here for years. So thank you for your support, bro. I appreciate it. Anyway, let's keep going.
So we have some.
Here's where they say that the substance was apple cider vinegar on CNN.
News just into CNN. We were talking about the attack on Congresswoman Ilhan Omar at a town hall just a moment ago. Just into CNN right now, police believe the substance that was sprayed at her by this 55-year-old man was apparently apple cider vinegar. Again, you see the video there. Omar responding by saying that she will not be intimidated. You see the man being tackled there. He has since been arrested and is facing criminal charges. We have Jeff Zeleny with us. Jeff, obviously this just a pattern of tension and frustration and violence.
Apple cider vinegar. How much you wouldn't have bet that was something that they arranged beforehand? Okay, please fill it with apple cider vinegar. I don't want too much on my face. How much you wouldn't have bet that was the case, that they did that? I think this was something that was prearranged beforehand to take the heat off of her back because she has some issues. First of all, you got a Somali issue in not Somalia, the Somali issue in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where she's a House rep. And you also have the tax issue, potentially some money issues, potentially with her husband. So you have some heat that's on her back and on the Somalis. What better way to distract from that than a false flag? But the false flag was terrible. So it didn't work at all. All it did was just expose her as a fraudster, which she already has been exposed as. So it ain't nothing new. It just fits into a pattern that already exists. All right. Now here is Tampon Tim Waltz blaming the staged attack, in my humble opinion, on President Trump, of course, because Orange Man bad. It's always Trump's fault. It doesn't matter. If it snows, Trump's fault. If it rains, Trump fault. Drought, Trump fault. A staged attack happens at a town hall, that's Trump's fault.
Do you blame President Trump for what happened? For this attack on Representative Omar?
Well, certainly. It's the tone that's in this country. This has all been said. I think it goes back, years of this type of political rhetoric. I can't specifically, and I know the subject. I talked to the representative last night. She was good. But this is the thing that there's no tone. And I said that the president constantly attacks Representative Omar, attacks her citizenship, attacks the very decency of it, and we've asked him time and time again to stop it. I don't believe he's capable of stopping it. I keep coming back to this. The decency of the American people is going to have to speak up, because even in any small thing he puts on social media, he finds a way to attack her. I'm glad she's safe. Appreciate it.
Do you have any idea what the substance was?
I do not. She said that they on site tested it, and I didn't get anything more. But she was good, and I think you saw her resiliency.
All right, there we go. Now again, I cannot say with 100% certainty if this was staged, but it looked staged to me. If it wasn't staged, why did she give him that nod? That nod, that right there is a lot. Now I'm seeing some of y'all say he was already crazy on social media. He had a lot going on. His ex-wife this, but I don't know all of that because I've not seen that verified, so I can't say that. But if that's the case, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Now let's go to Alex Pretti. Oh, he's an observer, ABL. He's an observer. He didn't do nothing wrong. Okay. Now, this video was shot 11 days before he went and got himself deleted in Minnesota. He's on the same exact streets in Minneapolis, Minnesota, fighting with federal agents. I think here he was fighting ICE. But in the other video where he got himself deleted, he was fighting Border Patrol.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him.
That's not very peaceful. That's not very observer-like. I mean, what kind of observer is kicking off people's taillights? Okay. If you're an observer, why is your leg up to your chest like that? What are you observing? How high you can kick? How hard you can kick? Are you observing your Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills? What are you observing right here, bro? I don't understand. Let me start from the top and let it rock.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti.
Hold on. Did he spit right there in the beginning?
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down before they retreat, and he walks away.
Now, let's pause right there. Okay, I've heard quite a lot of feedback from this video. Some are trying to say it's AI. That's hilarious. The it's AI crowd, y'all are funny, because where were you guys at during the first videos that came out of this guy? When videos surfaced in which you thought he was the victim, there was no, oh, that's AI, that's fake. That wasn't even a thing. But now that we have this video that shows that he was not a victim and he was in fact the aggressor, oh, that's AI, ABL. AI's gotten so good. Oh, okay. Now it's AI. But before, there was never a question about the authenticity. That there was never a question about the authenticity of the video when he was believed to be the victim by many. But now that he's the aggressor, all of a sudden it's fake and I don't believe it. Oh, okay. All right. You just heard them say this was verified by the BBC. Okay. Just heard him say that in the beginning. So why are we talking about AI? It's because people don't want to believe the truth. The thing I said from the very beginning about Alex Pretti being a troublemaker, a rabble rouser, who got himself killed on his own, it was his fault. This video just helps my case. And since it does, it must be fake, right? Oh, okay, I got it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Pretti was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
So, Alex Pretti, what's up with you, bro? I mean, you out here fighting ICE agents, fighting Border Patrol, wild arms. You might be on drugs. You don't have a permit on you, no license. You earn what you got. You earned what you got. You did everything possible to get what you got. I don't know if you had a death wish or what's going on, but it's your fault. All of this is 100% your fault. Border Patrol did nothing wrong. ICE did nothing wrong. You did something wrong, Alex Pretti. And at a certain point, we as human beings, really, but as American citizens, must take personal accountability. It can't always be the government's fault. It can't always be the Jews' fault. It can't always be the white man's fault. It can't always be the black man's fault. It's got to be, at a certain point, something that you figure out about yourself. Alex Pretti, I'm talking to you. I don't know if you can hear me wherever you at, bro. I'm looking down or up. I don't know what's going on, but this is your fault. You did this to yourself. Very simple. Yeah, I mean, and you know, the funny part, people say, okay, the government is tyrannical. How is the government tyrannical when we voted for it? We voted for this. We wanted them to do this. I told y'all from the beginning, and I'm going to stand on it. It's going to be the hill I die on. I said from the beginning that my primary focus of this election, my chief concern was the border, immigration, migrant crisis. Now they are putting resources to alleviate the issue. That's what I wanted. If you get in the way violently, you're the problem. What you should do is go vote against me the next time you have the chance. And maybe you can get your guy in there. And then whatever they do, I got to live with it. Okay. When you had the border open completely for all those 4 years, I couldn't do much, but just kind of let it happen because that's what y'all wanted. Okay. Now we're back in charge. That's all over with now. That is all over with now. So yeah, RP to bro. Now, here's where CNN says that he had fractured his rib prior to the event where he got deleted. I'm willing to bet that he got his rib fractured in the video we just saw. So we got the video verified by the BBC, and CNN says that he was in the confrontation a week prior and he got his rib broken or fractured, whatever he called it.
CNN is learning that Alex Pretti had a physical encounter with federal agents about a week before he was shot and killed by law enforcement. Sources tell CNN that Pretti broke a rib when a group of federal officers tackled him while he was protesting. Priscilla Alvarez is breaking that story.
While he was protesting, you mean giving an NFL football player kick to the license plate and then fighting the cops while he had the gun on him? Okay, that's protesting. I didn't know that was called protesting, but whatever.
For us, what else are you hearing, Priscilla?
Dana, we're learning more details along with my colleague Jeff Winter about what exactly transpired a week before Alex Pretti was shot in Minneapolis and died this past weekend. Now, in this earlier incident, he stopped his car after observing ICE agents chasing what he described as a family on foot and began shouting and blowing his whistle. Pretti later told one of these sources that 5 agents tackled him and one leaned on his back, appearing to leave him with a broken rib.
It's hilarious how they describe it. So what we just saw, they're describing that exact same thing. They say he stopped his car and then all of a sudden he is being tackled by 5 ICE agents. Well, there was a little bit in between there. You kind of left out, friend. You left out the fact that he kicked the car and then was spitting at him and then was fighting him. You left all that out. I think that's pretty important if you want to get the full story. All right. So there we go. CNN, sometimes they get it okay, but sometimes they don't. And in that case, they really didn't. Let's get to the picture. Oh my goodness. Because this right here, hey, I need some time for this. I need some time because I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a graphic designer. Since 2005, I went to school for it and everything. Okay. I had a business for a long time. From 2005 until 2018, I was a graphic designer. I've edited so many pictures. I've done so much stuff. And I've learned a lot throughout the years of in the field work, real work. I can call guys and they would tell you what I was doing for a long. I could call my clients, some of the guys I work with. I could call them and they would tell you that I was really, really good at what I did. And that my word on this, you should listen to because I was very talented at my craft. But let's watch this from MSNOW, formerly MSNBC.
When the history of this moment, this time.
Hey, Nicole, I hate your shirt, by the way. Your shirt, it's like you're bastardizing We Do People. I hate your shirt.
When the history of this moment, this time, is studied, an epicenter of this moment will undoubtedly be the city and the people of Minneapolis, Minnesota. The people there were pushed to the brink over the weekend again in the wake of another killing of a nonviolent bystander by ICE agents in Minneapolis. This time it was 37-year-old Alex Pretti, an ICU nurse who cared for veterans. Donald Trump and his cabinet, his administration, are demanding once again that you not believe your eyes and ears. Fortunately, for the sake of our country and our democracy, Americans in large numbers today are choosing to reject Donald Trump's lies and his.
Okay, no more of Nicole Wallace. She's like debating my existence. I mean, really, if I can just pick one person that could just like go to Mars and just stay up there, it'd be her. But they aired this on television, MSNOW, again, formerly MSNBC. They aired this on TV. This is AI, 100% AI. They ran this through AI, and what they got was this. This is not the original picture of Alex Pretti. And let's just go through the original picture, shall we? You saw what they saw. You saw what they put on MSNOW. All right. Now we got to get to what the actual picture was. All right, hold on. Let me put this up. Yeah, there we go. Let's do it this way. Okay. So here is the original picture of Alex Pretti. That's him. Okay, now I'm going to put on a few things when we get to the comparison. The picture, matter of fact, I ain't going to say that right now. I'm going to just show you this picture. This is the original picture. And you can fact check this very easily because this came straight from the VA, Veterans Affairs, which means it's a government picture. So you can fact check that very easily. Okay, this is not just his personal picture. This is from the VA. So there's that. That's Alex. That's the real picture of Alex Pretti. It's the original picture. Now, let's go. Let me show you what they put on. Let me show you the comparison. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here. Okay, boom, there we go. Now, oh my goodness, this was crazy. Totally nuts. Hold on. Let me kind of get it a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Perfect. The one on the left is the original. The one on the right is the AI edited version that MSNOW, formerly MSNBC, aired on television. Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Do you see a difference? Am I froze? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you see a difference? If you don't see a difference, then there's one or two things going on. Number one, you don't have a trained eye like I have. Again, I'm a graphic designer. This is what I do for like this is, you don't have a trained eye or you can't see very well. I would say go to the optometrist, and I'm not trying to be funny. I wear glasses. I'm not wearing glasses for fashion. I can't see without my glasses. So I, when I was a little boy, had to go to the eye doctor because I couldn't really see too good because I was always reading. So when the teacher would put something on the board, I can't see it because I'm always got my nose in the book. That's why I wear glasses. He does as well. You might need to as well if you can't see the difference between these two pictures. But look, I'm going to break down the differences. Okay. Mauricio says, I see a difference, but I also don't really see a difference. Let me explain. The first thing I want to explain to you guys from a technical point of view is a thing called pixel density. Okay, let me explain. When you have a picture, this original picture, as the source material upon which to edit and make improvements, you can only get so much out of it. There's a phrase we have called GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So before I talk about pixel density, let me tell you something about if you have a security camera picture, it's real grainy, blurry, you can't see too much. There's not much you can do to make that very grainy picture that you can't really see anything into very high definition, like somebody was just right there taking the picture of it. If you got Bigfoot in the woods, it's like a blur outline of what could be a Bigfoot. There is no way to make that picture become high definition and clearly visible without making a brand new picture. And at that point, that's called drawing. That's not called editing. That's called drawing. You can draw a picture or paint a picture, but that is not taking the photograph. That is called drawing. That's something totally different. In this case, they drew a new picture using AI based on the original picture. And the dead giveaway from the beginning, before we get into all the details of the face and what changed, is the pixel density. Okay, the picture on the left has a lower pixel density than the one on the right. If you artificially increase pixel density, so let's say, for example, you change from 720p to 1080p or 1440p, it will be an upscale version of the same thing. Changing the pixel density by the number will not increase the original pixel density. So it's still going to be blurry the way it is right now. It would not be as crisp and clean as this one is. The one on the right, if it was the original picture, you have to reduce the pixel density to get it to look like that. You see? If that right there is 1080p, this is like 360p. You're reducing the pixel density. But if it was 360 already and you want to upscale to 1080p, you won't get that result of this to that. It'll look just like that, but rather than 360, it'll be 1080 because all you did was stretch the pixels and create more of the same pixels that were already from the original picture. You don't have more unique pixels, which will create a more detailed image. Does that make any sense? Hopefully it does make, I know that's kind of complicated. But hopefully it makes sense. Now let's get to the actual changes. Aside from the quality of the picture. Okay. They gave him a tan because he's kind of pale. Gave him a tan. They increased the detail of his hair. So up top here is kind of fuzzy. They gave it more detail. It's more voluminous in certain places. The mustache is trimmed. The beard is trimmed. They gave him some more hair follicles down here, some grays right there in his beard. They gave him color on his bottom lip right there compared to that one. You see? The teeth are the dead giveaway though. They gave him veneers. The veneers they gave him are nice and uniform and pretty and clean. Over here, they gave him a slightly higher upper lip to show off the new teeth. Okay. See that right there? You see the gap in between the lower lip and the upper lip? It is wider here or taller right there than it is right there. You see? Look, okay, let me give you an example. On the left, he's like this. Hold on, he's like this. On the right, it's like, it gave him a big, beaming white guy smile. Now, that nose, oh my goodness. They did two things with the nose. First of all, his nose right here, you see the top of the nose, the bridge right by where his glasses are, that right there, it's crooked. It is crooked. You can see that on, if you were just to slice the image right down the middle, more of the nose would be on his right side than the left side because it's crooked. It's not totally in the center of his face, and it's also crooked in general. It's kind of bent. So they moved the nose more to the center of his face, and they fixed the bridge of his nose, and they also shortened the nose. That seems pretty anti-Semitic if you ask me, but whatever. They shortened his nose, fixed the bridge, and they adjusted it. The glasses are new because there's not enough definition in the original glasses. These are glasses that were drawn on him based on the original glasses. Okay? That's what that is. They gave him a little strap right there in the back of his glasses that is not present on the other side. And I've been wearing glasses for the past 35 years of my life. I know how glasses are. If there's a strap on one side, it'll be on the other side as well. So that's a creation with AI. His face is wider. It's not whiter, wider. He has more width in his face. And his ears are completely brand new. They gave him 2 brand new ears. Mr. Potato Head at best. Stuck him right on his face, on the side of his face. You can see the height of the ear and the symmetry. Look at the height of that ear compared to the height of that ear. If I go straight across on my mouse, hold on, right here to, it's not the same. And that ear are different. His ears are a little different than the original photo, but in the new one, you got 2 brand new ears on the side of your head. Okay, your eyebrows are a little bit different. They gave you blue eyes and they increase the height of your eye. And right here, he's kind of squinting. Over here, he has a little bit of the squint, but it's more open, and they gave him blue eyes. So his scrubs have also been improved. Okay, you got more of a straight line right here. They changed his neck. It's more space in between the bottom of his beard and his scrubs. Okay, they changed his jaw symmetry. On this one, his jaw is a little bit more, I guess you would say concave, kind of flat right there. It's a flat angle. Over here, they gave it more of a rounded angle. Okay, it's more rounded right there rather than sharp. Rather than sharp, it's more angular, so it's more symmetrical. You know, the teeth, the nose, the eyes, the lips, the skin, the glasses, the ears, everything. But the dead giveaway is bump and resolution. You can't do that. You cannot do this. You cannot make that turn into that without AI. Or a lot of time drawing a brand new picture. There is no way you could go in Photoshop and just make that be like that. It's just not a possible thing. And if you did do it like that, well, congratulations, you were drawing a brand new picture. That's what you did. You did not just edit a picture. Okay, the chin is a little bit more square. The chin right here has more of a point. This one is a little bit more broad. It's a little bit more broad. And then once you get to the edge of the chin, it becomes more rounded to go to the newly rounded or more symmetrical jaw. Okay, they fixed his jawline. They fixed his bottom lip, gave it more color. They gave it, and the thing about it is, when you run a picture like that, when you run this picture in AI, it won't create the bad quality image. It'll create a good quality image, which is what you have over here. Okay. And the flag right there is kind of weird too. It's a little divot in the flag that's not in the original one. Yeah, trying to Americanize him. Now, some are going to say, who cares? Well, why did they do it? If nobody cares, why did they do it? You see what I'm saying? Some are going to say, oh, the changes are minor. Okay. If there's minor changes, why did they do it? Why not just post the original picture straight from the VA? Why would you go and do all this extra stuff to his face? Because guess what? What they want, let me just come back. What they want is a handsome man that the awfuls are able to, they want a handsome man that the awfuls are able to connect with and sympathize with. You got some scrawny looking, sick looking guy. They can't really connect to him. I mean, who cares, right? Ugly man. Who cares that you die? Who cares what you do? But hey, you are Luigi Mangione. Hey, you're going to have fans from all over the world supporting your action. Okay, cool. So now what we got to do? We got to make this guy become beautified so he's able to be a martyr for the awfuls out there in Minneapolis, all over the country, rioting. And if you don't know what awful means, that means affluent, white, female, urban, liberal. The same people that like Luigi Mangione and think he's handsome, they may also like that guy because he's not as scrawny looking and sick looking as what he actually looks like. Now, personally, I don't really care what you look like. What have you actually done? What are your deeds in this world? That's what matters the most. Okay. But to a lot of people, the looks matter. That's why they did it. That's why they did it. Okay. Hey, that nose, look, the nose is crazy. Look at the nose. The nose, they definitely messed that nose up. The nose was crooked and crazy. Yeah. And now they shorten it up. The veneers, that's a big thing. Because one thing about being attractive is your teeth. If you can fix your teeth, that goes a long way. A long way. Hold on. Can I show somebody with some, oh man, hold on. I might need to do that. I might need to show like an example of what I'm talking about. Give me one moment here. I'm gonna try to find something that will prove my point. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, the teeth being different, the teeth changing most certainly matter. I can't find a good picture, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You go from yuck mouth to super handsome overnight. Now, this is kind of a bad picture. Hold on. This is kind of a bad picture, but it'll do. It'll work for what I'm trying to talk about right now. All right, hold on. See? This is rapper Glorilla. You see on the left? That was her original teeth. And then on the right, boom. That's kind of a bad picture, but you get the idea. Your teeth changing can make a world of difference. If you got like a real big gap or they kind of spaced out or crooked, or you got like rotten teeth or whatever, because you go right there. You see, if I had real bad teeth, my face would look different. When you change something like that, when you change all those things, it all comes together for a more attractive face. And that's what they did to him. All right, let's keep going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. And this person was a Alex Pretti witness. She's a person who saw him get deleted. All right. Let's go ahead and check it out.
You know, when we walk around with the whistles around our neck, it's not that we have, like, we know we can't do much. But what we do know is that we can let our community at large know when we're walking around, like, I see you. And if you're stuck in your apartment, I want you to see me. I'm another person walking around who is here to protect you as best I can with my whistle and my phone, which really feels not great.
And yet, you stood there with a phone and you documented this. You didn't run away.
I am not one to run when I'm afraid. I just, no way was I going to leave Alex by himself, undocumented. Like, that wasn't an option. I mean, obviously somebody was just executed in the street. I knew I was in danger. We all were, but I wasn't going to leave if we weren't all cleared out. And if it wasn't for the collective actions over the past 3 weeks, I don't know if I would have been able to stay that long. But I knew that this was a moment and we all have to be brave and we all have to take risks and we're all going to be given moments to make that decision. And I guess in my default mind of crisis there, that's where mine fell. And I'm grateful to myself and I'm grateful to anybody who was supportive to me after to make sure I could get to safety and get that video uploaded.
All right, that is an awful who saw the Alex Pretti situation where he got deleted and she was able to record the video. Okay. And again, if you don't know what that means, awful, affluent, white, female, urban, liberal, AWFUL, awful. That's her right there. Okay. Now let me go back because we're talking about photoshopping and stuff like this with Alex Pretti. One of you guys reminded me to show the Joe Rogan clip. Now with Alex Pretti or Pretti, whatever his name is, they wanted to make him be a sympathetic figure or martyr or whatever you want to call it, right? That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to make him be someone you could feel bad for. And women, they like him because he's attractive in a new picture, right? But with Joe Rogan, what did they do? They made him look sick. Okay, hold on. So you can see at the top, that's the version of a video that CNN aired that he put on his own social media. He was talking about ivermectin and that being a good alternative to the COVID-19 vaccination. So when he said that during this time, this is like what, 2020, 2021, whenever, that was a no-no. You couldn't say stuff like that. Ivermectin, that's horse paste. You can't have that. Now all of a sudden, 2026, it's fine. You can take it. Like we all know you could, because it was a drug that we had been taking for a very long time. It won a Nobel Peace Prize, all kind of stuff. So it was not a new drug. It wasn't horse paste. It was used for humans for a very long time. But when Joe Rogan and others said it, the mainstream media had they had the directive, I would guess you would say. They had the directive to shut him down because it went against their narrative. You see? So rather than just airing the video on the bottom, which was the original one, they put a filter on them. In the case of Alex Pretti, whatever his name is, rather than showing their original picture where he did not look very good, they changed it to a more attractive picture for the narrative. All I ask is that you just show things how they are. I've never in my life edited a video or a picture to make it look better or worse to show y'all. I ain't never going to do that. Whatever the picture is, whatever the video is, that's just what it is. I'm going to show it the way it is. That's called news. That's called being a journalist. When you change things that exist, when you change real things that exist into different things for your narrative, that is called fake news, yellow journalism, journalistic malpractice, all the above. I don't do that, but they do. Okay, I don't do that, but they do. Now, here is somebody that is practicing good journalism. All right, little trigger warning. He's going to have a gunshot here, so be careful. You know, I know people are. It's okay. So little trigger warning is going to be a gunshot. But this guy's going to show how the 6 hour, was it the P390? The gun that Alex Pretti had was defective, or was most likely defective, because there's a known issue with these particular guns going off without having the trigger being pulled. And the reason why I'm showing this is because in the video with him being apprehended, I think what happened is that when the agent disarmed him, the gun went off, but there was no trigger pulled. When the gun goes off and then they see Alex on the ground with a black object in his hand, and he was going for the waist and he was fighting, logic would say he fired the gun. Now we got to end the threat. You see? But I'm going to show you this right here. And again, trigger warning, there will be a gunshot.
Put some input into the slide somewhere. Will it go off again? Will it release? Let's see. That's 3 in a row.
So this is the P320. Thank you, J-Flow. P320, 6 hour P320.
You take the screw out. Number 4. Let's try it again. Let me show you. Fully functioning striker safety. All right. Should we do it with the magazine again? Let's put the magazine back in, and then we'll try the last one with the magazine out. Handy dandy trigger input tool. We are going to try to, dang, sorry about that. I'm trying to get over a sinus thing and a cough. We're going to try to simulate All right, here we go. Again, we are roughly, as we saw on the tabletop, I'm guessing we're roughly a millimeter to less than a millimeter of engagement on that trigger. And let's see if we can get it to go off again.
See? What probably happened in my humble opinion, what probably happened is while disarming them, the gun went off, but there was no trigger pulled. If the trigger is slightly like depressed, but not pushed, and then the slide gets any kind of feedback on it, the trigger could be slightly engaged, but not enough to actually fire the gun. But when you touch the slide, all of a sudden now the gun goes off. When you got a Glock, if the trigger is not pulled, the gun ain't gonna go off. That's not a thing that happens. But with these 6-hour pistols, that can happen. I think that's what happened with Alex Pretti. And that's why he did. That's not the fault of the Border Patrol agents, because if Alex didn't go there, he broke so many different rules to even be there. Again, Alex Pretti had just fought these same people basically less than 2 weeks before in the same location. They probably already know who he was. He had fought before, said he had a fractured rib, and got medication. So you go back to the very same place, armed, looking for a fight. They might have put you on medication. You might be on drugs. And once you get there, you fight and you resist, and you have your gun, and the gun goes off. I mean, there were so many things led up to it. Everything you could have prevented, everything you could have avoided, but he didn't. And as a lawful gun owner, you are responsible for avoiding these kind of confrontations. If he was to be responsible as a gun owner, he would have been fine. Okay, we got a gun expert right here, a self-defense expert and an attorney, Andrew Branca, talking about the whole situation. After this, I'm gonna keep moving, but let's watch this.
Consistent with this being a lawful use of force by the officers.
Yeah, explain that a bit more. Many people still wondering if the shooting was legally justified, and given what you've been able to review up until now, what is your opinion?
Well, the legal question is, did the officers who shot Alex Pretti have a reasonable, not necessarily correct, but a reasonable perception that he was presenting as an imminent, unlawful, deadly force threat? And that's presumed to be the case. A prosecutor would have to disprove that proposition beyond any reasonable doubt. So it's a very high burden to overcome that justification. And what evidence did these officers have? Well, the moment Alex Pretti interfered with the arrest of the woman in the white coat, gets shoved by his CBP officer, he makes contact with that officer. The moment he makes contact with that officer, he's just committed a federal felony good for 8 years in a federal penitentiary. That's why they were seeking to make his arrest, because they saw him commit a forcible felony against a fellow officer. Then he's non-compliant with arrest. He's fighting them. Then they discover he has a gun on his person. They take that gun. There's cries of gun, gun, gun. The officers call to each other. He's still non-compliant. They hear a gunshot go off, and Alex Pretti's right hand comes from his waistline with a black object in his hand. That combination of facts is going to get you shot 999 times out of 1,000 by law enforcement, and justifiably so. They're making all these perceptions, all these decisions in a violent, chaotic melee caused by Alex Pretti. They have to make all these decisions in a split second, because that's how quick someone can use a weapon against you. And those decisions, again, they don't have to be correct. The law of self-defense does not require us to make perfect decisions. It requires us to make reasoned decisions, meaning you're applying your powers of reason to the facts presented to you. You're not making things up. You're not speculating someone could have a weapon. Now, probably the item in his hand would turn out to be maybe one of his spare magazines or maybe a cell phone, but it doesn't matter what it actually was. It matters how it would be reasonably perceived given that combination of facts. And reasonably perceiving it as a weapon is well within the realm of reason.
There it is, okay? And again, this is an attorney, okay? This is an attorney and self-defense expert, Andrew Branca. Andrew Branca, B-R-A-N-C-A. Andrew Branca. I mean, he pretty much nailed it. He nailed it. That's just what it's going to be. That's what the law says. Now, I know the law. Most of you guys know the law. Most of us know the law, but some of us don't. And again, as I said before, I'm here to educate. If people don't know it, now you know. Now you've been informed. Don't take my word for it. Don't take the lawyer's word for it. Look it up for yourself, and you'll find the exact same thing that we've been saying all night. Okay, now let's go to some of these protesters out there. Okay, this guy. Have you seen this guy? He has a big social media presence. Big tough guy, Antifa. I'm gonna play some of him, and then I'm gonna show you what he really looks like. I'm gonna show you what he looks like when he's playing tough guy, when he's LARPing out there in Minnesota, and then once he gets off work, basically, what he does on his spare time.
My name is Kyle. I'm Antifa, and there's so much rage in me that I've had to record this like 15 times trying to get the message out. They fucked up, okay? Go watch my other videos. Doesn't matter if you're not here and you're not caught up. You missed the fucking fight. But if you are, it's time to suit up. Boots on the ground. Nicollet and fucking 26th. My house is 4 blocks away. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicollet and 26th and Nicollet. Show up, ready to go. Okay, not talking about peaceful protests anymore. We're not talking about having polite conversations anymore. I am talking specifically to my fucking followers. This is everything I have fucking talked about, and this is exactly what I said was gonna happen. This is exactly what I said was gonna fucking come when we didn't fucking go and march on fucking Whipple with guns. Sorry. But welcome to America 2026, where Second Amendment is the only thing that's going to keep you fucking protected from literal fucking Nazi gunmen that are killing innocent people in the street with impunity. This is not a fucking joke. There's nothing fun to chant about it. Get your fucking guns and stop these fucking people.
Okay, there is Mr. Cowell. Very, very intimidating. You got face tattoos and the bald head, white guy. I'm scared, right? Okay, now let's look at Mr. Cowell's off the court activity. I guess you would say that. Okay, all right. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look. Hold on. Now this is also Cowell. You see his pretty red dress right there? That's him. Yeah, that's him. Mr. Chaos. Cal Chaos. Okay, that's him. All right. So Cal, like, what's going on, bro? All this big tough guy, but you got on a little red dress. Like, what's happening, bro? I ain't even trying to show you dancing and doing all your performing, your drag queen stuff. I ain't trying to show all that now. This is a family show, okay? I ain't trying to show your hind parts or nothing like that. You got an Instagram page. It looks like OnlyFans page, bro. Like, what are you doing? And I think that the majority of the so-called protesters, observers, or whatever you call it, are going to be into the same thing. Now, I saw a picture that somebody said was Alex Pretti, but I can't verify it, that look very similar to this. If you look at most of these people out there, they got some kind of crazy alternative lifestyle going on. The same as always, Antifa, that's what they do. But they call it Trantifa. That's pretty much what's happening, okay? That's pretty much what's happening, okay? So again, shout out to Mr. Cowell. All right, and hold on, matter of fact, there you go right there. See? Hey, the girls do this. I've been seeing like girls 25 years old doing this, bro. You like a 40-something-year-old man, you my age, out there doing a little girl stuff. Like, what's on your phone, bro? What is on your phone? Hey, Cal. What I don't want to do is ever get your devices, because I'm gonna be sick forever seeing something like that. And of course, they got a Chaz Chop out there, a brand new Chaz Chop zone out there in Minnesota. And if you don't know, during the 2020 protests, riots, whatever you want to call it, in Seattle, Washington, they had a thing just like this where they blocked off a certain area, created a little zone. Theirs was called the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. Then it got renamed to something else later, and we call it Chaz Chop. Same thing going on right here in Minnesota. And how many cows do you think are in that ICE no-go zone? Okay, how much meth and crack? Hey, all they're gonna need in that zone is meth and crack. No food, no water, no nothing. They're gonna be fueled on them drugs, because that's what they do. Now, for some reason, they love to go protest hotels. I done seen so many Spring Hill Suites and Holiday Inn and Hiltons get their signage destroyed outside by these people. But let's watch.
Hilton, say no more. Take ICE out the door. Take ICE out the door. Hilton, say no more. Hilton, say no more. Take ICE out the door. Take ICE out the door. Free Liam Conejo Ramos. Free Liam Conejo Ramos. Hilton.
All right, there we go. So you got an awful convention. What they should do is just have a convention. Why take over a place? And I know it's musty in there. I could smell this from here. I could smell the cat, the dog, the unwashed armpits from right here. Why not just have a regular convention at a hotel? Just, you could rent it out. You could just go to the front and just gonna say, hey, we're the Awfuls of Minnesota, the greater Minneapolis area, right? Just have a convention regularly rather than do stuff like this. That's my opinion. You got freedom of assembly. It's totally fine.
Get out of.
Now, this woman says, hey, ICE, get out of Minnesota. All right. All right, hold on. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just let you watch it so you can kind of, now you can see why I'm smiling like this. Hold on. All right. She says, ICE, get out of Minnesota.
Get out of Minnesota. Bringing soldiers, right, to deal with citizens, that is not how America should be. And right now, America is not America. Get out of Minnesota.
All right, now look. Whoever you are, thanks for the suggestion. Thanks for the input. But I mean, I don't know what's going on. You got the mailbox, slit happening right here in the front of your joint. I don't know what's going on. And whenever I see y'all in public and y'all start to talk, I can't understand anything because you have an accent and your voice is muffled and I cannot read your lips. All I hear is at the Power Ranger putties. That's all I hear. I don't hear nothing for the most part. So yeah, shout out to the little mailbox. Hey, ladies, do you want to wear this outfit? Is that in your closet? Now you got little pretty dresses and heels and bags and stuff like that to be feminine and girly. And then one day you're shipped to Afghanistan or Sudan or somewhere and you got to throw this on. How do you even style that? You got like color variations. You got black and off black, gray and tan. That's pretty much it with the mailbox. So there we go. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Molly Ringwald says, if you don't know what that is, it's fine. She's an actress from back in the day. Molly Ringwald says that Trump supporters will be found guilty of treason once he leaves office. Now, there's a thing called ex post facto. This is a basic thing. I think maybe people don't know what this is. I thought this was kind of like common sense, common knowledge. Maybe it's not. You guys know it, I'm sure, but a lot of people don't. Ex post facto is a principle in law that says you cannot make a law and then go back and retroactively punish people for violating the brand new law. Ex post facto. So I'm not sure how you're going to go back and arrest people for a thing they're not being arrested for right now. What law are the ICE agents breaking? You tell me. You tell me. What did ICE agents do in the Obama time when there were more deportations that is different from what's happening right now under Trump with fewer deportations? If the reasoning is that Trump is violating laws and no due process, how does that result in fewer deportations? Make it make sense. But let's watch this. You get a little bit of sound. And again, this is Molly Ringwald looking like Amanda Bynes, but I digress.
I don't spend a lot of time doing this, talking to you like this, unless I'm, I don't know, recommending a foundation or telling you to get your kids vaccinated against meningitis. But I feel like I can't stay silent, and neither should you. There's something horrible going on in our country right now. And we have one of the greatest countries in the world. And I've always been so proud to be an American. But right now, this is a fascist government. It's not becoming a fascist government. It is a fascist government. And ICE is brutalizing people. And I don't care how you identify, if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, if you're independent, if you don't like to be political at all, it doesn't matter. You have to look at what kind of country you want to live in. And I don't think that I need to remind you, I'll just give a little history lesson here quick. But, if you look at what happened in France, where I lived for a few years in my 20s, they were taken over by the Nazis. They were invaded. They were taking over.
All right, let's pause right there. Let's stop right there. Now, Nazis, what are we talking about? There's no invasion. There was an election. That's the difference. Like, people don't really understand there was an election. It's not like Trump came in here with a tank and just took over the United States. No, there was an election and he won. That's it. If he lost, he wouldn't be there, which was shown in 2020 because they say he lost. Okay, cool. I lost. Now I'm going to come back in 2024, which is what happened. That's it. If you guys don't want Trump, you want him out of the way, then go out there and vote in 2028 and find somebody else. So, of course, Trump's done with his terms. I'm talking about if you guys don't want the conservatives in there, if you don't want us to run the country, okay, y'all go out there and vote and you try to get in power. But see, the problem is there are more of us than there are of you. So you got to deal with it. If you don't like it, go back to France or go somewhere else. It's not North Korea. You have the freedom to travel wherever you like to go in this world. You can go anywhere. Matter of fact, if you're here illegally, you get a free ticket anywhere and $2,600 if you self-deport. And you get to come back. What other place in this world on God's green earth can you do that? And what other country can you just say, you know what, I'm here illegally, but yeah, can I get a plane ride back to the house? And I kind of get some money to help myself get on my feet. Give me about about 2,500 just on GP. Where else in this world is that even a possibility? Nowhere else other than the USA. So I don't feel bad at all. I feel great. Shout out to my president. Shout out to my country. If you don't like it, oh well. All right. And again, that was Molly Ringwald, an actress. Those eyes, man. Hey, those eyes tell you everything. You could tell a lot from somebody's eyes. What I was always told is that my granny, my dad's mom would say, if you can see the top and bottom of someone's eye and it's white, like if you can see the white on the bottom of their eye and at the same time the top, when you're looking at them, it's something wrong. And I can kind of see it. I see the top. Not quite the bottom, but it's pretty much right there. There's some times where she's kind of like staring at you. You can kind of see both. But yeah, that tells you a lot right there in the eyes. I don't care what color you are. I don't care nothing about that. If you can see the top and the bottom of the white in her eye, then yeah, you might have an issue. Yeah, the whites of the eyes. If you can see the whites of the eyes on the top and the bottom, there's an issue. This is Olivia Wilde. I have no idea who this woman is. Maybe I know who she is. I don't know. But these Hollywood faces, I mean, good grief. You look like a whole ferret in the face. But let's just see what she has to say.
The world is hurting right now, and this country is hurting, and it's appalling. I'm appalled. I'm sickened. And we can't go another day just sort of accepting this as our new norm. It's outrageous. People are being murdered. And I don't want to normalize seeing people being murdered on the internet, on film. It's hideous. And so if we can do anything out here to support the movement to cast ICE out, to delegitimize this unbelievably criminal organization, then that's what we should be doing. So I'm proud to wear the pin.
And it's great to see people with your platform to speak out against that kind of stuff, right? That you and so many great creatives here are doing that.
Well, I think so many Americans are. I mean, you see the marches happening around the country. Americans are speaking up in huge numbers, and it's dangerous to be a protester now, and people are still going out into the streets, which is incredibly inspiring.
All right, there we go. So that is Olivia Wilde talking about the ICE so-called protesters are inspiring. I don't agree with that, Miss Wilde. I think that they are a lot of times just getting in the way and they're being paid to destabilize the country. But the good news is that they are in isolated pockets of the country. I've not seen any of these people down here. And if they are down here, they are in such few numbers that they don't make a difference. You know, they don't, it's not really a thing like it is in Minnesota. And it's funny how you don't see much of this ICE protest activity in a place like Texas. The majority of deportations happen in Texas. Let's be clear. California, Texas, the big places, not Minnesota. They are there specifically protesting, quote unquote, because I think it's all part of the game. It's all part of the grift. The Somalis steal from the government, and the so-called protesters are being paid by an outside source to go do that. Who actually works in Minnesota? The regular middle class people that are getting squeezed to death, getting squeezed by taxes. And that's kind of like a big problem right now with the country. You have us, the regular Americans who work every day and got to pay taxes and don't steal. Then you have those who straight up steal from the government, the Somalis in Minnesota, and those who get money to do illegal things or things that are kind of illegal, like, I don't know, destabilize the country, hurt people, hurt ICE agents, things of that nature. We do things right and we work the hardest. They do things wrong and work the easiest. But at the end of the day, I never get tempted to do the wrong thing to have a certain way of life, because I know that I'm not a bad person. I'm a righteous person. I'm going to always be righteous regardless of what. Regardless, it don't matter. I'm going to always be righteous. And in the end, we always win. Like I said before, it's about, at this point, it's good versus evil. If you're doing things for money that are going to hurt the country, that are going to hurt people, that will destabilize us, you're part of the problem. You're part of the evil. I put you in the evil category. Again, black, white, whatever. No, good, evil. Simple as that.
Yeah.
All right. So this guy says F ICE. Okay. Mr. Tough Guy, big tough guy, F ICE. Okay. And, you know, one thing I've learned in my years of living is that a lot of these guys that pretend to be tough and, you know, big, buff and muscular, be the softest dudes and a lot of times be gay. But let's just watch this.
Yeah, fucking political. That was murder. An ICU nurse who worked at the VA, who was legally carrying a firearm that was fucking holstered while he was filming, who is now being painted as a domestic terrorist because he took a gun to a protest. But all these 2A motherfuckers a couple years back were screaming Kyle Rittenhouse's name from the goddamn rooftops. Oh, that was different. Yeah, you're right. He had a fucking rifle strapped to his chest. The man who was shot and murdered by ICE was concealed carrying a firearm that he was legally allowed to fucking have. I am now seeing reports that it's even possible that they disarmed him by taking his weapon out of his holster that was at his 6 o'clock, and then they mag dumped the fucking guy. So if you are legally carrying a firearm and they take that off of your person and then utilize that as a justification to put rounds in your fucking back while you were laying face down on the pavement, then it was never about following the law. The Second Amendment doesn't matter anymore, and you're fucked. So where's all the don't tread on me, two-way, gun-toting, boot-licking fucktards? Or is it just when it's not on your fucking side? So I'm done playing the middle ground. I'm done making first aid videos that just might help, that can be seen by both sides. So fuck it. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. We are not mad enough.
All right. That was very well edited, sir. And the music in the background.
Yeah, you're
very, very TikTok oriented. But guess what, though, bro? Guess what? Check it out. And by the way, nice little video game background you got there with your weights and everything. That's cool. Fallout 76. Yeah, I like Fallout. Shout out to Fallout. But anyway, there's some issues here. Yes, we are pro 2A. Yes, we are pro Second Amendment. But guess what? When you have your Second Amendment rights, when you exercise your Second Amendment rights, you got to do things a certain kind of way. Like, you got to have your permit on you at all times, your ID. You can't be on medication, any kind of mind-altering substance. You can't go looking for trouble. You must adhere to certain rules as a lawful gun owner. And the biggest rule he broke was interfering with police activity, interfering with law enforcement activity. Kyle Rittenhouse did not do that. When the police came in the Cal Handout situation, what did Cal do? Like this, okay? There was no aggressive confrontation with the police between that. There was no, there was no negativity towards the police. There was no aggression toward the police. That's what Cal did. But your guy, Alex Pretti, went straight for the Border Patrol. And he had just fought them 11 days prior. So the intent, in my humble opinion, was to go down there and do it again while armed. You cannot do that. You're supposed to avoid conflict when you are a concealed carry permit holder. And he didn't do that. So now he dead. So, oh well. So yeah, bro, I mean, nice weight set, man. Go back to lifting. Go back to your creatine. Go back to your TRT. It's totally fine, bro. It's totally fine. You could do all that, but at the end of the day, you must do things a certain kind of way when you got your Second Amendment rights. When you have your concealed carry on you, you got to do things a certain kind of way. All right? So shout out to him. Okay. Now we got a panel of awfuls who are talking about the 5-year-old that they say got detained. Remember the little boy who was abandoned by his so-called father when ICE came to arrest him? And then ICE had to stay there with the little boy and got him McDonald's and comforted him. Remember that? People are still saying that the boy was detained, although that is not the case. Let's watch.
You know, 1 week ago today, our little Liam Conejo Ramos was detained by ICE. And we've all seen the bunny hat. But I want to make sure everyone's connecting the dots that Conejo, his first primary last name, Conejo, means rabbit, means bunny. So I've been getting many emails where the entirety of the message is, yo soy conejo. I am the rabbit. So hearkening back to World War II era, many of you may have heard the story of Sadako and the 1,000 Paper Cranes. Columbia Heights Public Schools and our community, we're working on our origami conejos. Thanks. Thank you. And that's my second.
See, this right here is when you have the awfuls in charge. Again, affluent, white, female, urban liberals. That's when you got them in charge. See, men, we don't even think like this. This is not what we do. They're just talking about their feelings and whatnot. There's no fact here. There's no actual reality in this conversation. It's all about feelings. You heard them? Oh, like, we don't got time for that. We're going to run things the right way. Not based on feelings, not based on inaccurate information. And again, the little boy was abandoned by his father, who ran when ICE came to get him. And then when ICE said, hey, to the adults that were there, the so-called mother, do you want them? Nope. The entire so-called family abandoned him. That should be the story rather than ICE, because ICE did the right thing while the adults did the wrong thing. So, yeah. No, I don't want your origami of that. I'm good. So this woman says, you know what? We should shoot the federal agents. Now, before I play this, do not do that, okay? Do not do that. If you do anything like that, any kind of criminal action, there will be a reaction. And if you do that to a federal agent, hey, man, that'd be your last go round. That'd be your last, that'd be your last hurrah right there. And if it ain't your last hurrah, you're going to be in the wheelchair and all kind of stuff afterwards. So please, 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 I beg you, if you value your life, if you got people that love you, don't. But let's watch.
Start shooting. Just start shooting. Honestly, at this point, you don't have anything to lose because they're already going to shoot you for doing nothing. Start shooting back. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not very good advice. That's not very good advice. just stay out the way. And you black, you're not an illegal alien. You're an American. I hear your accent. You're an American. What's it got to do with you? Look, lady, this thing with ICE has zero to do with you. You're not here illegally. You're not committing crime. You just in your car eating Chick-fil-A or whatever. Okay, just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. Stay out the way. Mind your business and let law enforcement happen. You know, the craziest thing is law enforcement is always going on all the time. There's all kind of threats that have been thwarted due to law enforcement. If not for law enforcement, you have a much more dangerous life. Okay, it'd be much more dangerous. You would not like where you live at. You want to escape. It's only because of the safety that law enforcement provides you that you're able to speak so freely in this country, that you're able to have an easy life relatively to the rest of the world. Okay, go to Africa, live over there and see how you like it there. See how you like when there's a car accident like Anthony Joshua, there's no ambulance at all. You're pretty much going to just bleed out right there on the ground. Hey, and the only people that are going to come to your area are going to be guys that got cell phones recording you as you bleeding out. Ain't no ambulance, no first responder, no nothing. You live in the best country on earth. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. All right, let's keep going. Now, this woman, I'm not sure what this is. She appears on CNN quite a bit. Maybe y'all know who she is. But she's saying that Democratic senators need to defund ICE. And kind of give you guys a little sneak preview of the eyes. Hey, man, the eyes, they tell you the story right there. Okay? Imagine that's your wife. Hey, imagine that's your wife, and you got to come home to that face right there. Good Lord. But let's watch.
United States Senate is voting.
Hold on.
The United States Senate is voting on ICE's funding next week, and this is a group that does not deserve to be funded. Any senator who votes to continue to pay for this mob of unhinged murderers is out of their fucking mind, because this cannot be retrained. This has to be stopped. So if you are a U.S. senator right now, do not write a fucking tweet. Do not write a fucking tweet. Write a bill. Write a bill that abolishes this heinous department. The United States Senate is...
Okay, now, there's a few things here. From what I've seen, ICE is funded through 2029, so they're not going to be defunded anytime soon. And second of all, they've been funded for quite a while. They were funded fully under Barack Obama, and they were doing more deportations. And there were some issues that happened. There were some shootings, people that died in custody, all kind of stuff, more than what's happening right now under Obama. So why all of a sudden now is it an issue? I'm trying to understand the difference between Barack Obama and Donald Trump, especially when one of the big guys involved is Tom Homan. Barack Obama gave Tom Homan a medal for his work at ICE under Obama. Trump has the exact same guy doing the exact same job. Now it's a problem. Why? It makes no sense. If Tom Homan was effective under Obama and got a medal for his service, then why would he change his behavior under Trump? And if it has changed, then how? So, yeah, we're not going to do that. It's going to be funded. And matter of fact, what I would say is, to any senators out there, when you can, let's get more funding toward ICE and Border Patrol and everything else to keep our country secure. Why not? Why not? So there we go. Hey, that face, I'm telling you, man, it's the wickedness in them. Good versus evil. Okay. Now, if I ever in my life make that face, call the cops because something's wrong, that the devil didn't try to get me, and he ain't gonna do it, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I rebuke this kind of possession in the name of Jesus. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. So there's supposed to be a strike from a lot of the liberals because of what's happening with, I don't know, ICE and the country and Trump and everything else. Let's watch. All right, let's check it out here. Here we go.
We're striking Friday. All of us, we are striking Friday. It's a nationwide general strike. That means you don't go to work. You don't go to school. You don't shop. Remember, all of these things are tied into capitalism. It is a socioeconomic system that demands state violence like what we're seeing in Minneapolis, but also what we saw years ago with Philando Castile. So, on Friday, what are we doing? We're striking, guys. Great job. January 30th. No work. No school. No shopping. We're striking.
Okay, now I have questions, bro. Okay, why would you strike school? You paying for that. How you going to strike against what you paying for? If I'm paying my money, I'm not going to strike. That's my money. At that point, I am striking against myself. Like, I'm trying to get an education to go out there and really make something happen. At that point, I'm striking myself. It doesn't make any sense. But why would you strike your job? Like, what is that really going to do? What's the purpose? What will change? And also, here's the $1 million question right here. What will be affected by this strike? I can't go to Starbucks. Hey, you're going to have a few Starbucks that shut down. Maybe a McDonald's might shut down. Maybe, I don't know. What else should y'all do? Oh, you know, the biggest thing they're going to strike from is the protesting. That's the big job right now. Hey, I can't get no McDonald's or Starbucks sitting in my house through DoorDash. I can't do that when you guys strike. I can't. I can't. Well, how about this? Not what I can't do. What I can do. I can go to Minneapolis now without worrying about y'all musty breathing down my neck protesting because your job. A lot of you guys have a job of protesting. So no protest. That's the upside of it. But yeah, if you want to strike your Starbucks job, that's fine. Or your McDonald's or whatever, that's totally cool. But school, I don't really understand because you're paying for that. It's not a flex to deny yourself of a thing that you paid for. If I paid for, let's say, a car wash subscription, I'm going to wash my car all the time. I'm not going to boycott washing my car that I paid for because of any kind of reason. That make no sense. So yeah, bro. Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to do no strike. How about y'all? You going to strike on Friday? What's going on?
Hey, so they're going to kill us.
Okay. Nah, I ain't going to play that because it's kind of similar to the other lady. People talking about go out there and shoot.
And
So this guy flew to Minneapolis to go to Alex Pretti Memorial. He flew there. I don't know where he's from, but he flew to Minneapolis to visit the Alex Pretti Memorial. Okay? Let's check it out.
And I just want to get to know you. Let's just talk about you and why you're here. Obviously, you flew in from Chicago.
Hold on. Before I begin, somebody said his ears are weird. Yeah, he has the same ears that they put on the dude. Hey, he has the Alex Pretti ears. The ears that they made for him in the AI. Yeah, they took them and put them on him just for the video. But anyway, let's continue.
And I just want to get to know you. Let's just talk about you and why you're here. Obviously, you flew in from Chicago. Tell me everything.
Just feel overwhelmed. Just this weight of anger and sorrow, and just feeling like nobody is listening. This should not be happening.
Now, I'm curious if you feel comfortable talking about your wife and, you know, maybe how that's personal to you right now. This is personal, it seems like, to everybody.
It's very personal. My wife is Korean. I think about the people here. I think about my wife. I think about you. I think about anybody with brown skin being asked for their papers. Where are we? Where do we live right now? I can't imagine that being okay, and it is. I can't believe this is happening. And I just feel so small and insignificant, and just being here, I felt like in some small way I was doing my part.
Do you have anything else you want to say? A message to the people, a message to the administration, a message to the community here in Minneapolis, anything?
A message to the people of Minneapolis. There are a lot of people like me that are behind you. And we are with you, whether I'm standing here or not. We are behind you.
Okay, dokie, there we go. So, alrighty. So, hey, Mr. Crybaby right there is behind you. He got your back. Hey, don't worry about it. He has your back. It's totally fine. Why are you crying? Like, the dude got himself killed. Like, that's his fault. Like, don't fight cops. How about that? How about something very, very simple? Don't fight cops. Do not take your car and hit cops with it. You'll be totally fine. Just stay out the way. You won't have no problems. Your wife is going to be good if she's here legally. You are going to be good. Everything's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Don't cry. Don't cry, dry your eyes. Cold out there is going to freeze in your face anyways. Don't do that, man. Don't do it to yourself. Now, shout out to the friends to the channel. Our friends to the channel, James Klug. You got a street interview, and going back to what the guy said about, oh, it's because of your skin color. They are so hung up on race. It's crazy. But then they say that we are the racist ones on the right anyway. He's asking this guy if ICE is really killing because of skin color. Like, what's really going on? Let's see what he says.
Killing someone for their color. You want to kill Native Americans? Okay. Because they're Native Americans?
What example do you have of them killing someone specifically because of their skin color?
Christ gave us all the same blood and heart.
I understand that.
So why
do you mind
kill
addressing
someone?
your argument that you just made?
It's not an argument, it's a fact.
Okay,
The
it's a
fact
fact.
is-
Even better. Tell me the facts then. What's an example?
Why
One
should
example
I-
of that.
Why should I kill you because of your race or color? Have you done anything bad to me? No, but by me being a racist and judging you, okay, now...
Of course, but what evidence do you have to support the
You gotta
argument?
give one
that-
example of what you're saying because you said it's a fact. It's not even just an opinion. It's a fact.
It is.
So
My dad's
what's
a
the
lawyer.
example?
I can tell you all the lawyer cases
Tell your
about...
dad thank you for his service.
How about the guy today who's white?
Oh,
The
they
man
shot
who's-
him because he was white? You have evidence of that?
No, because they're in
You have
the...
insight into that situation that we don't?
No, you're jumping down my throat. All I'm saying is, it's no right to kill anyone.
All I'm asking is that you prove your point that you're making. You made the allegation that they're shooting people, murdering people because of their skin color alone. I asked you to provide one example of that, and you failed.
No, facial. I mean, it's racial. It's racist.
It's racist.
Why can
You're
you
just
not
saying
say it's
words.
racist?
You're not saying anything, though.
It's very simple. If you say people are being killed because of their race, okay, give me an example of that. Give me just one example, one case. It's your opinion that it's happening like that, but you have no evidence of it. Alex Pretti did not get killed because he's white, black, Puerto Rican, and Canadian stripe. He got killed because he fought law enforcement and lost. Oh well to him. And the other lady, Rachel Nicole Good, got deleted because she hit a cop with a car. If you hit a cop with a car, or you fight cops, or Border Patrol, or ICE, or whatever, law enforcement, you might lose your life. It's just that simple. If you're here illegally, it doesn't matter where you're from, you could be deported. It's not about a race thing. A lot of the older white liberals, they still hung up on race because they're racist. That's all. That's really all. And the younger ones too. Some of them. Now, let's this was funny. An ICE agent. This right here is a classic dad line. When you about to get in trouble or you're in trouble, this is the classic dad line. Okay, let's check it out.
I will tell you this, brother.
What?
You know, I will tell you this. You raise your voice, I raise your voice.
If I raise my voice,
If
you'll
you raise-
erase my...
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious? You
Yeah.
said if I raise my voice, you'll erase my voice?
I will tell you this, brother.
Hey, that right there, I could hear my mom saying that. Yeah, I could definitely hear my mom saying that. She was good at stuff like, little, dad the same way. I can hear them both saying that simultaneously. Yeah, so shout out to the ICE agent right there. If you raise your voice, I erase your voice. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, some of y'all going to say, oh, ABL, he was threatening. It ain't no threat. It ain't that bad. I done got told that a million times when I'm 5 years old, okay, and I didn't die, so it's okay. It is totally fine. That's a perfectly good saying to say. And matter of fact, I'm going to use that one. Hey, ICE agent, bro, I'm taking that from you, bro. I'm going to use that in my regular everyday situation. You going to raise your voice? How about I erase your voice? Yeah, I'm going to practice that. Put it in my diary, and I'm going to say it in the mirror. If you raise your voice, I'm going to erase your voice. Yeah, there we go. Shout out to my man for the humor. Hey, the ICE agents are hilarious. They are very, very funny. Okay. And speaking of funny ICE agents, I don't have the video of the guy mooning. I ain't going to show that. I ain't going to show no hind parts on here. But in this same window, there was a guy mooning ICE agents. Now, what I'm gonna show you here is a guy just jogging on the treadmill. Okay. And I'm doing like this so you can kind of see on the edge. If I maximize it all the way, you can't see that edge right there. But let's watch. Oh, there we go. Hold on. I might be able to do it this way. There we go. Let me start from the top. Chilling. You out there in front of home suites and all kind of stuff. My man right there just in the window, chilling, minding his business on the treadmill. You know, hey, and you know what? That is a great way to summarize this whole thing, because you got most of your awfuls out there, your affluent white female urban liberals, okay, and black guy in there, person of color or whatever, on a treadmill, minding his business. Minding his business like it ain't nothing going on. I like that. I like that energy. That's me all day long. Hey, ABL, did you go to a protest? Yeah, I went to a protest. What were you doing on a treadmill? Minding my business. Per usual. Per usual. All right. Now, speaking about this not really being our fight as Black Americans. Now, I've seen him quite a bit on the internet. He's really good. I like him. I don't know his name. If you guys know his name, let me know in the comments. But he's been talking about this whole thing not being Black Americans fight at all. It's just not really a thing. But a lot of people in the comments are saying, wait till ICE comes to get y'all next. Y'all are next. Black Americans are next. How are we next? Last I checked, if you are an American citizen, you can't get deported. If you're born in America, you can't get deported. That's not really your thing. Where am I going? To my grandma's house in West Virginia? Where am I going to go? I'm born in the USA, raised in the USA. I'm not getting deported. That's the case for Black American people. But let's just watch this, shall we?
Supposed to be coming in my comments talking about wait till ICE come after me because I'm next. Let me just say this, bro. Say it with your chest. Because that's not what you really want to say. Man and woman, both of y'all been saying it. You want me to be next. You hope I'm next. It's an indirect threat. You try to hide behind the wait till ICE come after you. That's not what you really want to say. You hope I'm next. So I'm going to let that indirect threat slide, because I really think it pisses y'all off that it's literally impossible for me to be next. I think it pisses y'all off that I'm just not in that situation. But the indirect threats, bro, y'all ain't really got to do that. Just say it with your chest on how you really feel. ICE has already came to my city, and I just stayed out the way. Just like if there was any day that somebody said there's heavy police presence in this area, I just stay out the way. But I don't have nothing to look back over my shoulders for. I have nothing to worry about. So it really pisses y'all off that y'all fell into this trap of being lied to, talking about they're coming after us next. They're going to get you next. I'm not the type to be fearmonger, bro. You actually sound dumb as hell. I'm really not one of them. ICE was here. I went about my day, went to the stores I needed to go to. I never had to look over my shoulder. They probably saw me. They be in unmarked vehicles. But I have nothing to worry about. Y'all be having these doodle brains listening to everything on the internet talking about they coming after you next. But see, y'all need to keep that over there, though. Don't come in my comments talking about I'm next, because that's not really what you mean. You want me to be next. You hope I'm next. So instead of this indirect threat, just say it with your chest on how you really feel.
There we go. Exactly. Right on. Hey, that was fantastic. That was right on point. Because
literally,
that's pretty much what it is. A lot of passive aggressive type of stuff. Oh, well, ICE gonna come for you. They want you to be harmed. They want you to suffer in the way they think that people are suffering who are innocent, but they're not innocent. They are doing something that is illegal. If I do something illegal, then I may be punished. They catch me doing something, whatever. Now I got to face the consequences. That's just the way that the world works. Okay. But I'm minding my business. I'm not here illegally. I have nothing to worry about. ICE is all around. Like, he probably from Atlanta. I see the Falcons shirt. Like, they've been in Atlanta even before the surge. So if you were out there doing something you shouldn't have been doing, or you were here illegally, you were already in danger anyway. But that's not us American citizens. That's just not what we have to worry about. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Now, you know what the protests look like. You know who you've not seen at these protests.
So do y'all notice who isn't at these ICE protests / riots? Black people. Yeah. We're not going to be used anymore for your white liberal agenda that continues to use minority communities for your pet projects of trying to prove your sense of virtue and value to others. Yeah, we're finished with that. So please, stop it with these emotional ploys that are trying to beg black people to come out and join you in defending our communities. Yeah, our communities aren't illegal immigrant communities. Illegal immigrants who come into this country, they don't respect us, first of all. Our tax dollars are being wasted on them thanks to you white liberals who we've been noticing for quite a long time have deputized yourselves as the overseers of all politics related to black people. Yeah, there's no black and brown. There's no people of color, the groups and categories that you like to lump us into in order to carry forward your agendas of control, acting as overseers of our communities. Yeah, see, here's the thing. In the midst of your riots, where you're finally figuring out that you're FAFO, you're finding out, yeah, we're not interested. We see the game, we see the scam, and we're just not interested. So stop asking us to come out there. Stop asking us to join into this. I'm glad that you're finding out that you're just like everyone else. The white privilege that you're used to experiencing, yeah, that's gone now. Especially when you go out there on your vigilantism, pretending to be superheroes, where you think that you can stop 5,000-pound vehicles with your whistles. Yeah, we're not interested. Leave us alone. Leave us out of this. We have important things to do. And you know where else you effed up? When you decided that it was okay to barge into a house of worship and take it over and yell and scream and threaten children. Yeah, we don't get down with that. Y'all keep that shit to yourselves. We're not going to be out here advocating to replace ourselves with illegals.
There we go. Hey, that was so well said. So well said. That was fantastic. Right on point. Right on point. Listen, I know a lot of black folks, be in my DMs, black folks that call me on the phone, see you in the street. We're tired of what the white liberals are doing, what they've been trying to do for a long time, trying to make us fight their battles for them. No, we're not doing it. You out there protesting, getting your head tore off, getting deleted, whatever. That's on y'all. If you out there doing that, that's on you. You're not going to shame us, guilt us, or make us do anything that we don't want to do. Slavery, been over with. We're not going back to it. Okay, slavery was multifaceted. It wasn't just pick cotton, build this, build that. It was control over us as a whole in a variety of ways. Political power, labor, everything. Those days are over. So my man right there, right on point. Right on point. Very well said. Okay. Now I got limited time, so I got a couple more I want to get to. A couple more. I'm gonna save some for next time. I got a lot of good ones, but I don't got a lot of time. I'm gonna show you the rest of them on Saturday, but I got a couple more I want to show.
I know y'all.
Okay, this woman says, you know what? I don't care. You mad, you don't like it, but I like Trump. I love Trump. Been a fan since 2016. An OG Trump supporter from the beginning. All right, let's watch.
I know y'all gonna unfollow me, but I don't give a damn. I love Trump. I've been a fan since 2016. You can't make me hate him, period. I was fresh out of high school. First time voting. I never voted before. Guess who was my first person I voted for? Donald Trump. Definitely did. I definitely chose him over Hillary Clinton. Give me the motherfucker that's gonna make me the most money. And it's always gonna be Trump. Sorry. So say what you want to say about him. I don't give a fuck. He's always the better option for all his opponents that he went against. He was the better option. Yeah, so that's my little lore for today. Bye. I know y'all going.
Exactly. Like, this is somebody that speaks with common sense. It's like, look, okay, I'm kind of like one issue right here. Who make me the most amount of money? Who will be the best option for me and what I got going on in my life? It's going to be President Donald J. Trump. It's going to be the orange man. It'll be him. Okay. She picked him over Hillary. So the whole, the girl sticking together, that's not really your thing. Okay. People that vote, men and women alike, we got brains. We can use them. And the majority of us are going to vote for the better guy. At least I hope so. I mean, it happened in 2024 because obviously the better candidate was President Trump over Kamala Harris. And he was better than Joe Biden because when Joe Biden came in there, he stunk up the joint so bad, we went back the other direction. 2016, he was the best choice as well. So she's right on point. Right on point. Shout out to her. And you know what? I'm seeing more and more black folks come out and say, you know what? I'm a conservative. And part of my mission, part of my goal when I came out in 2015 was to make that be a normal thing, to not be so much of a stigma behind being a black person and being the conservative. And I think that I've been able to assist in that. Not just me, of course, but I put my own little piece on it and I helped. And I think that is a good thing. Now, here we have immigrants talking about legal immigration because people seem to think that if you want ICE to continue to do their work, that you hate immigrants. It's not about hating immigrants. It's about wanting illegal immigrants to be held accountable. If you're here legally as an immigrant, whether you got a green card, visa, citizenship, if you're here legally as an immigrant, I have no problem with you. I say, welcome to America. You follow the law. If you do not follow the law, then I can't help you. That's as simple as that. Okay, let's watch this, shall we?
I am a legal immigrant. I was born in Israel, and I came to America as a child, and my parents, okay, they actually had to fill out applications, and I had to go get sworn in to get my citizenship. So why are these people, why are they allowed to cut the line when my family had no line to cut?
How long did that take?
Whatever it took, we stood by the line. Whatever this country told us was legal, we stood by that line.
Were you facing persecution?
I didn't come here illegally. I came here on a visa. I was a child. I came here legally.
Was your country persecuting you?
No, my country
was persecuting me, and I came here and I became an American citizen. I'm a legal alien.
My country wasn't persecuting me.
How long did that take?
For me to become a citizen, I did all the due process, man. Every due process, every paper. Years.
We don't care how long
years,
it takes.
years. And even if it had taken 20 years, you know what?
Let
me tell you something. I've been here 22 years. You know when I became an American? A year ago. Best day of my life after the birth of my kids.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Were you illegal before that day?
No, I was not illegal. I was following the rules. I was under visas. And the moment they said, this is one day over your visa, out. I was out. I was respecting the country that was welcoming me, that was giving me an opportunity and a chance.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Damn, it actually just left my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Right on. So that was perfect. That was well said. Look, the immigrants that I know are like that. They respect this country. They follow the law. They do the right thing. I have no, like, that's what I want. I want guys like that in the country. I want them to come here. That's what I want. Why is that such a hard thing to understand for a lot of these liberals? Why can't they get that? Why do they not draw a difference between the illegal aliens and the legal immigrants? There's a difference. Is that the same thing? It is not the same. I want legal immigrants, not illegal aliens. If you're here illegally, I don't know what to tell you. Figure it out. And if you get deported, then that's on you. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, it took 22 years, but so what? He was still here legally before he became a citizen. He was not here illegally. See? So I guess the interviewer's argument was going to be, oh, well, it takes too long to become a citizen, so you come here illegally. Nah, that's not the way it works. It don't take 22 years to get a green card or a visa or anything like that. You can get a visa pretty quickly. You can get a work visa, student visa, tourist visa, all kinds of visas you can get pretty quickly. You don't have to come here illegally because it takes a long time to become a citizen. Nicki Minaj was not a citizen until just right now, but she was here legally under visas and everything else. See, if you follow the law, it's okay. Whatever you do legally, it's okay. It's simple. Very simple. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, I'm out of time. I got to get to some super chats, and then we got to get some calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Super chats on deck first. Thank you to Dolores for your super chat. Thank you to Abu Bakr Al-Puff Daddy, who says, hey, Democrats, say their names. Lakin Riley, Dakara Johnson, Skylar Provenza, Fletcher Harris, Jocelyn Nungary, Katie Stanley, Jefferson Amaya Ayala, R.I.P. May they rest in peace. Prayers out to the family. Now, I believe these people were killed by illegal alien. Okay, hopefully we good. Hopefully we are good. Okay, we straight? Okay, I think we good. Because on my screen, it was showing that there was no stream there. All right, YouTube, don't start messing up now. Don't start glitching on me. Hopefully we good. Okay, let's continue with the super chats. Shout out to, that's the awfuls interfering. An awful over at YouTube at a data center, then slowed my stream up, then try to interfere with the stream. Thank you to Apu, who says, hold on. Apu says, free Tina Peters, political prisoner and whistleblower. Thank you to Apu, who says, ABL, have you seen that video from Minnesota Walmart? Guys ask, you got any hand warmers? Walmart workers are like, chicken? It's so funny yet sad. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that, where they didn't speak any English. Per usual at a Walmart in a place like Minnesota. Thank you to Apu again, who says, ABL, best Batman, Keaton, West, Affleck, Patterson. I must say this. I think that they all did well as Batman, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Batfleck. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I did. I like Patterson, but Patterson's Batman was kind of like artistic. Him and was that Lenny Kravitz's daughter? Is it Zoe Kravitz? Yeah. That's kind of like an artistic kind of. It was like a spinoff kind of. It wasn't like the traditional Batman, in my humble opinion. Val Kilmer, because he's like kind of in the middle, not too hot, not too cold, kind of in the middle. But Keaton was like my childhood Batman for sure. Okay, thank you to Mauricio, who says, you mean the state that got caught with vast amounts of fraud is the only state fighting the Fed? There you go. Hey, there you go. Of course, you're going to have a lot of fighting of ICE agents in a place like Minnesota because of all the fraud that's there. Of course. You want to keep the fraud going with all the illegal aliens. Thank you to Rob, who says, do you think the families of the dead protesters could sue the organizers of the protests for sending protesters to a high-risk situation without proper preparation? That's a good question, but I don't think so. Because ultimately, they broke the law on their own. You know, I'm not quite sure they told them to bring the gun and start fighting the cops. I'm not sure if they did that, but either way, it's on you. Like, if I am told to do something illegal by somebody and I do it, it's my fault. If I conspire to rob a bank with somebody and I wasn't the ringleader, I'm still going to jail. So that's a good question, though. Thank you to, I'm gonna tell your name up, and I'm sorry. Antia Frost, Antia, not Antifa, but Antia, Antia, who says, I wasn't fooled by Pretty's fake smile. The 3K media, I ain't gonna say what it is right there, was plastering all over the place. Yeah, so you were not impressed. You were not fooled by that fake AI smile. Thank you to Lenita, who says, it's giving the justiest of vibes. It is. Thank you to Lenita, who says, Omar slow-mo voice is nightmarish. Did he say, okay? Talking about Ilhan Omar. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says, Omar only gets sprayed in the face by, I ain't gonna say that. Come on now, family show. Thank you to Monique, who says, give him the Pretty Boy package, veneers, rhinoplasty, and everything. Hey, Monique, he got all the things. He got everything. He got the whole package. It's like you go to the doctor and they say, hey, what you want to get? Yeah, let me get the whole thing. Let me get the whole shebang. Let me get a brand new facelift. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says ABL teaches Photoshop $9.99 a month. Sign me up. There you go. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, did you hear about Big B from 103 Jams? He died on Monday. DJ Law died in 2010. RIP the Buddha Brothers. Yeah. Yeah. Buddha. Y'all know nothing about that. If you're not from Virginia, you don't know nothing about that. But yeah, I saw that. RIP Law, RIP Big Buddha. That's like a big piece of my childhood as well. Buddha Brothers, 103 Jams. RIP. Thank you to Michael Guess, who says, now show AOC's teeth, ABL, like staring at the mouth of an alien. Thank you to JB, who says, Pretti might be alive today. If they had held him and prosecuted him for damaging federal property after the first altercation, he should have quit while ahead. You see, they gave him some leeway. They weren't trying to be too overbearing. I think what happened with that first altercation, when he did that, they gave him a little roughing up, and then they left. Just to show force to say, hey, you can't keep doing that, because if you're going to be out here all the time, expect the same result to happen. Well, he went out there again and did the exact same thing. And this time, the gun happened to go off. Now he's dead. Oh, well. They gave you a break. They gave you a pass on the first altercation. You weren't arrested. There was no charges. It just let you be. Gave you a little bit of tightening up, roughening up, and they left. But you went back less than 2 weeks later, and now you dead. That's your fault. Thank you to Mauricio, who says, men will be lovers of themselves. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Thank you to Michael Guess, who says, great idea. Go around in a bug spraying vehicle in protest areas. Have it spray something that reacts negatively to cocaine in the person's system. That's funny. Thank you to Couture Leotards, who says, hype me up. I'll hype you up, literally just to hype up. And I saw you only have water in your fridge. I'm not sure what we're talking about, but shout out to you. Michael Guest says, the eyes are the mirror to the soul. They are. Thank you to Mauricio, who says, these people need to watch more police body cam vids. They do. Twisted Clown says, now every time I see ABL showing a tough guy, I'm waiting for the dress reveal. All the time. Anybody that's like, their whole thing is, yeah, I'm big tough guy. It ain't really, a lot of times they be soft. That's not really, the real tough guys I know don't say nothing. They might say 2 words to you. They don't say nothing. That's the real tough guys. They not, and a real tough guy is not going to be trying to always flex on you. They're never going to flex on you. They're only going to show their toughness when they need to. Hey, when you decide to put a hand on the tough guy's head, that's when a tough guy comes out, and you're going to regret that you did that. Thank you to Steven, who says, I don't think that it is white privilege that they think they have. I believe that they think that they have liberal privilege, not happening in red states. Thank you to Mauricio, who says, liberals hate when black people don't follow in line. Still, it's 2026. 1865 was a long time ago. Let it go. Y'all lost. Y'all lost in 1865. Y'all lost in 2024. You lost. Just get over it. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, let's get to some calls. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And the phone lines are officially open. Shout out to you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with me. All right. Are you guys gonna boycott Friday? No shopping, no school, no nothing. Who am I speaking to you online? Unknown number.
Alakablaya. Hey, Anthony, man. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Yeah, I just like that video. It's kind of funny. Not to make light of this guy's, suicide or whatever. But yeah, I'm so sick and tired of this. How many weeks ago was it when Renee Good got herself deleted?
Like 2, maybe, not like a week and a half. Pretty recently.
That's right. I think it was January 7th. Yeah, that's right. And this guy goes out and gets himself deleted too. I know you can't say killed on the air here, but that's what they did. But no, people need to realize these people are very mentally unstable. They're radical leftists, and they're depressed, and they're suicidal. They basically want to sacrifice their own, lives for a cause that they believe in. I call them kamikaze leftists because that's essentially what they are.
Exactly, 100%.
Well, this guy showed up, pretending to help out. Okay, I'm going to pretend like I'm, directing traffic, which wasn't his job to do. And then let's see how close I can get to these ICE officers and then take out as many as I can before I get shot. There was a black woman that did this, I think around the time that George Floyd expired, or shortly after. She was about 23. She's telling a little boy in the back seat, he's about 4, all the cops are racist, don't cooperate, don't do anything to help out the police, whatever. She got out of her car, and then she got into a confrontation with the cops and got killed. Right in front with her boy in the back seat. So these people, I think they wanted to get killed. Do you think Renee Good thinks she was going to come out of this alive after she hit that police officer or the ICE agent? No, she knew she was going to get shot. She wanted to take him out with her. Because they want to become a martyr for their cause. And these people really need to stop talking about Nazis and the Gestapo. Okay, I've been reading about World War II and the Nazis since 1981, since I was 12. I've interviewed 2 victims of Nazi terror. One guy had nightmares 63 years after, he was released in 1937. And I interviewed him in 2000, 2001. Told me about how he had rats in his cell. His best friend got shot in his arms in one of the camps he was in. Hand of his Hand. Another guy was a teenager who resisted the Nazis, got arrested by the SS, and told me about how his friends they were beaten. And the next day they were hanged. And this is just disgusting. I've seen human bones and ashes of Jews in Theresienstadt concentration camp, the only all-Jewish concentration camp in the Third Reich, and in the Czech Republic. So, this is bullshit. These people don't know anything about history. They need to stop talking about this stuff. You can, in a totalitarian dictatorship, these people wouldn't last 5 minutes. You can't go out and protest against no kings. Trump's a president. He's not a king. If he were a king, he would have cut these people's heads off and hung them on a bridge. You'd think nothing of it. I'm just so sick and tired of it. You can't argue with these people. You can't reason with these people. Don't even try to. It's ridiculous. So, what's your take, man?
I agree. I think that if people are beyond reason, they don't live in reality. You can't do too much aside from just punish them when they do the wrong thing.
Yeah, what's his name? Waltz can't even say Gestapo correctly. He can't even tell you that it's an acronym. It isn't even a German word. These people are morons. They learn about the Nazis from Wikipedia, and then they act like they're historians. They can't even get their facts straight. And then Waltz is also talking about Anne Frank. Her family left in 1939, and then the following year, like 4, 5, 6 months later, the Nazis took over Holland. And they had to go into hiding. And this has nothing to do with Anne Frank. This is just offensive to people who survived that time period. And it's just disgusting. It's more disgusting when you've been to the Nazi concentration camps and you've interviewed, survivors of Nazi terror like I have, or Germans that actually resisted the Nazis. So what morons. So anyway, I just had to say that, get that off my chest. It's really irritating me. So yeah, I'm still ultra MAGA. I support ICE. And I hope Trump runs again if he can in 2028. Yeah, man, I'm all behind him. We're going to fight to the last man and the last bullet. I'm not going to surrender this country. Never surrender, baby. Thanks a lot, man, for taking my call. You have a great night. Take care and be strong.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Continue to fight the left. Never surrender. Have a good night.
Same to you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, great call. Fantastic call. But these people are morons. They don't know anything. They're talking about stuff they may have seen on TV, Anne Frank, movies that they watched, books maybe that they might have read when they were in 3rd grade. They don't do any studying beyond their regular schooling. And it just creates a situation where you got a bunch of morons talking about things that they don't know about. Yeah, they don't know anything. And that's a really big problem. That's part of my job, is to educate people because they just don't know. You ask certain questions and you get a blank stare. You get a totally blank stare. I say, hey, what was the significant event that happened in 1865 in the USA? You get a blank stare. They don't know what's going on. 504 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Alien Spaceship.
All righty, man. What's going on?
All right, so shout out to you in chat. And see, the other day I did a 16-hour stream.
Oh, wow. 16 hours. How did that go?
So what happened was that one I was up for a long time and I didn't sleep and I just felt I was calm, but I was slowly getting a little bit more as I got less sleep, more tempted to be more irritable, but I kept my calm. But it was kind of, as I said, it felt kind of like being in a dream state, and it was a record broken. And it was a good time with the chat. We were doing another trial, the Jodi Arias trial. Did you hear about that when it came out?
I do remember that name. I don't remember what the trial was about, but I do remember the name.
Yeah, she murdered her ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah. And the night before, I was in some other chat talking about stuff like we talk about in the stream. And then it was something I didn't try before, so it was a interesting thing to do because I discovered that the live streams can go over 10 hours, except that some information may not always be saved the way YouTube's thing works, but they can go for days or months. I found out recently.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I've been seeing a lot of people waking up about the political climate that's been going on. People are seeing the truth, through their own experiences. Now, yeah, with Alex, that guy that was deleted in that incident, I was seeing before a couple of days ago that it was like an accidental, which I'm thinking with the right case, an accidental discharge of a firearm, or they saw him have a firearm and then they shot him. That's something that I was seeing, and now you're saying is what I was also seeing is that he should have interfered with what the ICE was doing.
Yeah, he shouldn't have even been in that environment. Just let the ICE agents do their business. Don't interfere. Don't get in the way, because now you're presenting yourself. You're a threat to them potentially. So then, when it comes to the fighting and trying to put your hands, now you committed a crime actually. And once that crime happens, now they got to try to get you apprehended. And once you begin to fight and you got a gun, now it's very dangerous. And if that gun goes off, well, hey, you see what happened?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a high pressure situation when they have to, detain somebody or to deal with somebody that's fighting with them. And I see this all the time in police cam footage where, yeah, they have to defend themselves and the people that they're around. And, they will use lethal force to stop the situation. And, yeah, so what should have been done, he could have stepped aside. He could have protested because it's a constitutional right to protest. But to go and fight them physically, that's going to logically lead to problems. For instance, hitting an officer with a vehicle is going to probably cause someone to get deleted, and wrestling with them is going to probably get them deleted too. It's just with anything, they need to keep their hands to themselves, and then they say that they're the ones that are being attacked, and then it causes outrage everywhere. But yes, it's the political climate's very high tensions right now, but people have to just let them. They could protest if they, in my opinion, but they have to just let them, do what they're doing and not go fight them physically.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So you may have said earlier, but did they find out what liquid was thrown on Ilhan Omar? If I said that right, I don't know if it did.
Yeah, they said apple cider vinegar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the first name Ilhan is I think that's how it's said, but I saw that only on your stream because I did not see that prior. So okay, I'm glad to. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but I'm saying people should, I don't know what the intentions were, but yeah, because they're going to try to maybe use that as bait against us. But I know it's apple cider vinegar because I'm sure that the media said it was probably acid or something.
Of course, they're going to try to say it was something crazy. It's always a narrative they wanted to push, but I was surprised that CNN actually reported that it was apple cider vinegar, because I would think that a CNN would be the very ones trying to hide that information.
Yeah, because usually we've seen the media throughout history, in our modern times in history, is that they've been hiding things or downplaying things and covering up stuff. But now seeing them talk about it is maybe they're trying to be more like a regular news agency, although they're going to have their own bias. Yeah, definitely, because a lot of times they usually would hide it. Like, for instance, with Meta, Zuckerberg, they were blocking the I think that there was, if I'm getting this right, I don't know if you saw the story, but there's links to stop ICE, to stop the ICE organization we're putting on IG. And I believe that they stopped those links from being in their platforms to try to stop ICE.
Okay, I've not seen that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, and that the news was showing like Zuckerberg and Trump like eating somewhere, and like at a meeting. That's what their picture was. And then I knew it was like something they're trying to say they're like associated with each other. Then yeah, I saw a headline that Obama he's like outraged about what happened with Alex, and he's trying to tell everyone to take a stand up against it. But see, I don't know what that means exactly. Take a stand. Like, hopefully they're not trying to reincite violence like in 2020.
I mean, despite what he may say, when you say something like take a stand and we got to fight back, you're dog whistling to people who understand what you are trying to say. So just by saying that, that's going to activate a lot of these people, especially since there's money involved.
Yeah, exactly. And follow the money, as they say. And there was this incident where, people may have intentions for not violence, but as I said, as we've seen, like with the assassination of Charlie, and these people have a history of violence. So there has to be a better way to word these things, because if they say it like that, it could be either interpreted correctly, if that's what they really meant, or misinterpreted a certain way where more of craziness could happen. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's like dog whistling.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's been sometimes I've talked to people that have seen like the 2020 event happen, and yeah, there's like they'll see like bricks, like stacks of bricks, and like the day before, stacks of bricks, and like people with like streaming equipment and stuff that were like on the other side. It's like almost, in my opinion, it seems like it was even premeditated.
Well, I mean, of course, like when you see things kind of set up in a certain place, like supplies set up, a lot of that is premeditated. Or they think that something could happen, so they just set those things out there for it to be of use when needed. It's just like what happened with CNN or one of these places when there was a riot getting ready to happen back in the day. I think it might have been 2016 or 2020. They see the riot coming. They want the riot to happen, so they're already in place, ready to start the cameras.
Yeah, exactly. They want to have everything set up, and I do think that following the money, they are being funded, and it seems that we kind of predict when someone or something can start another conflict. But as I said, we are seeing what's going on, and I'm glad that we are reporting on it.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, before I go, I'll say that one of the winter plants sprouted.
Oh wow, did it? What sprouted?
It's a Japanese plant called daikon.
Hey, those plants do very well in cold temperatures. I have Japanese, the bushes in the front. I forget what they're called, but I have some of those in the front, and they're doing very well right now in the wintertime.
Is it the Azula? I think that's the word. It may not be that one, but that's a bush that I saw recently from Japan.
No, it wasn't that. If you say the name, I'll probably remember in a little bit. But yeah, it's like those in my front flower bed area. I got some Japanese little bushes right there.
That is really cool. Yeah, I love those plants. I was looking at some Japanese bushes the other day to put around the area. So yeah, and recently it was I remember people all over the country, especially up north, they were, and everywhere, were like freezing because basically a Siberian blast that came here. And I'm sure it was also cold where you were too.
Oh yeah, very cold. It was very, very cold. It got down to like, I think 10 degrees, which is very cold for this area. Normally we don't get anything below freezing.
Yeah, mine was the coldest it got. It didn't get too bad, but it was with the humidity, it made it really worse. It was 20 in the 20s, but it felt like it was 9 degrees. The thing said.
Wow, yeah, that's cold.
Yeah. All right. So shout out to you and chat, ABL. That's all to say for his call. Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, shout out to my main man, Alien Spaceship. And the plant I'm talking about, the bush, Japanese boxwood. Japanese boxwood. I almost got a Japanese maple. That's a tree. A Japanese maple is a tree. I almost got that for my main tree. But what I got instead was a Brandywine maple for my tree in my front. Okay, let's go to 843. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, this is Tyler. Hey, buddy. Long time.
Long time, man. What's going on with you?
Oh, shoot. I was up in Minnesota today on business and was able to get in and out of there on about 15 hours. So that's a good day, as Ice Cube would say.
Oh, for sure. You didn't have any problems with any of the people outside trying to act a fool?
Nah, but I literally was about maybe 6 blocks from where that incident happened. I had 2 locations I had to go to, and yesterday when I left the great state of Kentucky to come up here, I thought what a sad day it was, because literally as I was checking my tools, I do installations and things like that, and I added double-aught buck 12 gauge caliber to the set list, as they say. And I had to pause for a minute because dealing with the ice and the snow and everything, it's been down there. I literally had that on my mind, was what am I going to do if I run into one of these crazies, and it's pretty sad as an American that prides himself on being pretty open-minded and accepting, to pretty much everyone's individual freedoms, that I should have to take measures, because usually I just, those are for the coyotes. I don't really carry a gun usually, but I thought what a sad day it is that an old man like me's got to pack heat just to go do work, to ensure his safety.
Yeah, it's crazy the way people are, but it's not your fault. You got a lot of these people that are in one area who don't mean well. So normally it's not that way, but sometimes it is, and you got to defend yourself, unfortunately.
Yeah, because that's kind of what my point, and some of the other callers, and you've touched on it as well, is we're all trying to kind of decide, like, who are the protesters? Is it just the Karens, the goofies that are out there? Like, you see them and you can hear them talk, and then you hear that, the soprano and the men's voices. So you know what you got in the daytime. But at night, it kind of looks like the west end of Cincinnati, where you got a bunch of meth zombies running around that will stab you. They will hurt you. They will rob you. And the chaos, I think it just attracts those miscreants like that basically have nothing better to do. Because who else, what kind of normal human's going to stand out when it's, negative 5 degrees to save an illegal child molester? You know what I mean? It's a different kind of animal we're facing.
I agree. Like I was saying earlier, it's the good and evil. I think most people are good, but not all of us are good.
Oh, amen. Yeah. I'm almost, it runs like a 50-50 thing. It doesn't take much to prove to me that you're a good person. Cause like you're saying, if you want to give most of the people the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, you can't be just any dummy anymore, because even they tried to clean that Alex, which is kind of ironic. His last name's Pretti, but they tried to clean him up and kind of like to me, he looks like a textbook. If you, Google child molester, like in his images, that's probably what's going to come up. So like taking down that sharp chin of his and all that paleness and all that, it's just like, that just shows you that they know that their pets are, they're wild people. I mean, it's a sad thing, but, I really, if his DNA gets stomped out, looking at his character and like the things he believes in, I don't really care. I hate to be like that, but I just don't. They're not making this a safe place for, I got kids, grown kids, and hopefully someday grandkids. I want something better for them, and this ain't it. Alex Pretti, I don't care if he's a nurse. And that's another thing they're trying to confuse us. Is he a nurse at a VA hospital? Is he a nurse at we just get so many things, such a broad brush. They've tried to make this guy a hero. And He's a zero, bro.
I agree with you, man.
But yeah, I just said on this special day, anytime I got to go to Minnesota, it's always, you know, like, that's the last place I want to go. But here lately, this might be my last trip. I don't even I want to trade them and bring Alberta or Saskatchewan or one of them Canadian provinces in. We can just trade them out Minnesota.
Hey, that'd be a good trade because I know a lot of Canadians want to be part of us. So let that province that wants to become part of us, let them do that, and then we give you Minnesota. That'd be a nice little trade.
Yeah, we swap it right on out, make it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so, but other than that, one other thing I was going to say, and maybe some of your callers could type in the chat, but when Trump and Waltz when he talked about that phone call, at first I was kind of maybe a little too harsh on Trump, but like a lot of things he does, he's playing that long game. And so, you know, if everybody, it's easy to get down on Trump sometimes, but you got to, you know, he's playing that long game. So trying to be optimistic that he's got a plan that, you know, to clean this up.
Right on.
Yeah. All right, ABL. Good show, and you have a good night, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right, shout out Tyler. Great call. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate that you got to look at your fellow citizens in a certain way, or not always citizens. You got to look at your fellow human beings a certain kind of way, but what do you do when you have evil people doing evil things and you're a good person? You got to protect yourself the best you can. So shout out Tyler. Let's go.
Shout out Tyler.
You know, Lance, we could do 615.
Hey, what's up, ABL? This is Caleb from Nashville, man. Hope you did well during the storm and everything. Luckily, I never lost power. I'll just preface this, man. I'm a younger dude, 26, white, conservative, and I'm in school, and I talk to a guy all the time. He labels himself a black radical Democrat. We have conversations every day, and I can kind of see some of his points, but it just never really makes sense. And the other day we had a conversation about transgenderism and all this other crazy stuff. And I finally broke his paradigm because he had no comeback, and he can't have a comeback because everything he talked about was feelings and feelings and feelings. And I'm like, at some point, your facts or your feelings can't determine the facts. And I said, at some point in time, there's going to be a point where white people are going to be able to say they're black, they're Mexican, whatever it may be. And it's going to turn. It's going to be a complete 360. And that's what these people don't understand, is all of this is eventually going to be used against them. And that he had nothing to say. And he went away. He said, I'm going to think on this. And we'll see what happens in the next week or two if he can come back with something.
Yeah, see, when you break things down to people, sometimes they gotta just think. They gotta think about it seriously. It's, you know, if you're open-minded and you're not just defensive, you gotta think. And then once that thought gets in his head, he's like, wait a minute, what do I do with this? How do I process that? And that's what you did is really a good way to go about this. If you want to influence somebody or try to help them change their mind or get on the right track, you just give them something that they gotta just stay with for a while. They have to be able to let it marinate. And like what I always say, my tactic is I just drop a seed in the garden and let it grow. I'll just say something and let them marinate on it. I don't got to try to convince them. I'll let them try to figure it out on their own. And if they can't figure it out, then it forces them, if they're open-minded and honest, to come to my side a little bit more.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And then it's like, we do have to go towards the younger generation because I feel like the old heads are just so lost and they don't even care to even be open-minded. But these younger generation, I feel that they've been indoctrinated during the schools and they've come up in this way of thinking that they still have a chance to break their paradigm. So we either need to start homeschooling or just getting younger people out like Charlie was, man. We need somebody else. We need somebody new. You know, the past is past. We have to get through it together, you know, as Americans. And I hope that my generation does come forward and, you know, this new way of thinking can just be eradicated because it's absolutely ridiculous. These people have never read a day in their life. And I wish they would read like Thomas Sowell. All the younger black generation needs to read Sowell because he breaks it down so concisely, because he was once that way of thinking, and he completely did a 360 or 180 rather once he actually saw the real world. So that's all I got, man. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate you doing the show and everything. So just keep rocking on.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, what you said is right. You got to get younger generation. They're going to be easier to reach. It's easier to, and like what the old saying goes, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. The old dog, look, I'm old. I'm going to just sit on this rocking chair until the sunset don't set no more. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they're going to do. But with a young person, they are just beginning to really venture out into life. You in college, that's like the beginning. That's a perfect time to reach them. And the other side, the evil people, they know that. They know that. That's why they're in K through 12 and college and the workplace. And they're on social media everywhere else. They want to influence you off about your life and make you be a certain way, to the point where you're 15 years old talking about you transgender and you want to have a double mastectomy. See, that right there, that's the influence they're getting from the online world, from people that want them to be a certain way. And it's up to us, all of us as a collective of people, to be able to reach these young people and steer them in the proper direction, not just influence them in the way that we think is good in general, but in a seriously good way, that it'd be good for them and for all of us. Such as a 15-year-old girl not wanting to get a double mastectomy. Yeah, and then even if she did want to get it, we got to be able to make laws that say, let's not let minors do stuff like that. Okay, we got laws on the book that say you can't be a minor and do this and do this and do this. Let's let the laws really make sense for our country, our citizens. So yeah, you're right on point. Right on point. And as I always say, when I was young, I was trying to find a guy like me that I could relate to. And I think the very young people, they make him relate to me, maybe like the uncle or dad or something like that. But you also need to get people that's their age, people that's like, could be their classmate, people that could be in their peer group. They need them to be able to speak to as well. So maybe I can help influence some of the young people who can go influence other young people. That's going to be the thing. With social media and stuff like that, you know, you're going to need consistently new people if you're going to have influencers, especially those that are going to be influencing people in the positive direction. You got to have that. And if you don't, you're going to have problems, because the other side, they're going to have their influencers fill the void. And that's going to be all bad for all of us. Okay, let's go. 770, you're in line on speaker 2. All right, 770, you got a little cold feet. I don't know what happened, but you did answer. But I got a little bit longer. I'm not totally tired yet. I got a little bit of time. And I was talking for a long time in the beginning, so I started my calls late. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Culture says, or young people can just listen to their Gen X parents. Most of us have voted enough to understand this is something else today. Well, a lot of their parents don't know nothing either. That's the problem. A lot of their parents don't know a thing. You know, I done seen some of these parents out here. They don't know nothing. You know, a lot of their parents need to be listening to people like me and other people. They need to be listening to us. They need to be influenced because they don't know nothing. All right, let's go to 414. You don't lie. How much speaker to?
Aaron.
All righty, what's going on?
I just want to say, I appreciate you for what you do, and you're spot on. You're spot on with all your videos, and thank you.
Well, thank you for your support. I definitely appreciate it.
I think that I'm a little bit nervous about the midterms. That's why I'm calling.
Okay.
You think the Republicans will win? What's your optimism level about the midterms?
I'm pretty confident. I don't think that all this noise is going to impact the midterms in a negative way with all the riots and everything. I think most Americans wanted this because we voted for it. So I don't think it's going to be. I don't think this is going to make an impact. I think the only thing that can make an impact is the economy. If people are struggling and they are not what they thought they would be, and they voted for Trump, that could impact the midterms. But as far as all this ICE activity, I don't see that impacting this at all.
Okay, that was my question. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. All right, yeah. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit. There's a lot of concern about the midterms, but I'm not really concerned. I don't think it's going to be a real issue. I mean, there could be some little changes, but I don't really see it being a big issue. Not ICE. The main thing is going to be the economy. That's going to be the driver of the midterm election, in my humble opinion. So I think it'll be a pivot toward, well, I mean, we're right here in 2026. So, I mean, we're right during midterm time right now. So if they're going to just double down on this whole ICE thing and not talk about the economy or anything like that, then I don't really see what their strategy is. But see, again, a lot of these people don't know anything. They're morons. Like we said earlier, Tampon Tim don't even know. Talk about Anne Frank. Anne Frank, what are you saying? I mean, you might as well talk about like some other kind of like bedtime story. Like you're talking about things that you're not, you could tell by the way they speak, they're not very well versed on history or anything else. They know basic things to say that they are often fed on a sheet of paper to say to the public. It's like they're actors reading the script. They're not really intellectual people. They're just puppets at best. Puppets at best. And a puppet is not intelligent by design. If puppets had intelligence, so they wouldn't need to be puppeted. A real thinking human being can behave fully autonomously without a hand out their hind parts, making them say this, making them do that. Your Tampon Tim Waltz, your Joe Biden, Barack Obama, they're all the puppets. That's why they don't like Trump, because he's not a puppet. They, meaning whoever they could be, the deep state, the permanent government, they want to be in charge and use a figurehead as a puppet out there. They want to be Geppetto and you Pinocchio going out and telling lies. But the key is that your nose don't grow. You see how that works? But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. That'll be a wrap for me. It is 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it's time for me to go ahead and not go to bed for 3 hours and stay up all day, stay up all night on my phone, getting videos for the next day. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'll be back live on Saturday, same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Did I freeze right here? What's going on with my OBS? All right, OBS, don't start messing up now. I don't know what's going on. But before I wrap it up, shout out to you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. Also, this is an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I shall pop right on up. All righty, so I got some more super chats. I'll read these right quick. Wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Hold on. Did I get everything? I got one more. I got maybe two more or one more. Yeah, I think I got one more. From Mauricio. Mauricio says, liberals hate when black people don't follow online. Yeah, I did read that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Again, I'll be back live on Saturday, but I'm here every day putting out content, short form, long form, whatever you want. I got it. Please follow me on all my social media platforms to get all the content, because some things YouTube won't let me put up here. It's not going to be conducive to the algorithm. So follow me, Instagram, Facebook. Shout out to my Facebook people. You guys are rock solid. Shout out to my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, the website people, everywhere. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.